Usually getting a phone for $0 is too good to be true. A hassle, but not at Verizon. Now, when you make the switch to Verizon, America's best...
6 o'clock here on WJOB. It's Monday, March 30th.
I'm coming.
What chaos. Bob just flew in from Disney, and boy, are his arms tired. But I'm ching. Okay.
Wow, that's an incredible zoom on us.
And a white balance is off, too.
Oh.
You need, check our white balance. We're going to both look orange, and people are going to accuse us of manipulating the image like CNN does. Okay, why don't we take a look at first look at traffic and weather this morning. Traffic surprisingly light. Not much to report this morning. Nothing Bishop Ford, Dan Ryan, nothing going on there. There was an earlier accident on the shoulder of the Dan Ryan, but doesn't seem to be slowing things down. Nothing else going on the Illinois side. 8094, Skyway Toll Road, 65, everything looking fantastic. The 231 closures, I believe, start today. So just FYI, because that's what we need to do, is we need to close a major east-west thoroughfare to build a roundabout. So if you're heading down that way, I believe that starts today, maybe tomorrow. But be aware of that if you use 231 to make your way through the south end of the region to get where you're going. We got a beautiful week in store. Lynette, why don't you tell everybody about that?
Good morning, everyone. Today we're at 53 degrees with highs of 76 and lows of 64. It's going to be warmer with sun followed by increasing clouds and then breezy this afternoon. And then later tonight should be cloudy, breezy, and warm and a heavy thunderstorm late. And then tomorrow on Tuesday we'll be having highs of 73 and lows of 36. Should be cloudy, windy, and very warm with a couple of heavy thunderstorms in the afternoon. And then Wednesday we'll be having highs of 45 and lows of 40. It should be mostly cloudy, breezy, and cooler, and a little rain in the afternoon.
Thank you so much. This is one of those days, there's so much to talk about, I don't know where to start. So I don't know if anybody wants to...
I don't know where to start.
I don't know where to start. I mean, honestly, so we'll start here. So we've got Larry the K coming in at 7 o'clock. We're going to chat about this weekend. Yeah, we'll chat about this weekend. And we're taking your phone calls. I know at some point Jim said they're going to break the phones this week, so we assume they're working today, so we'll wait till Tuesday to break them. So we'll find out if the phones are working at 219-845-1100. If you guys want to chime in on anything. I don't know, there was some Big Four basketball stuff happened last night, according to my Facebook. Somebody's seed busted or whatever.
Somebody was routed.
Can we say that on the radio? Your seed busted or whatever? I don't know what happened with the Yukons or somebody. I don't know. But if you want to tell us about your seeds, maybe the potatoes.
What were people doing with potatoes?
The Yukon potatoes were the number one team, and then they lost. And that was not ideal for the brackets.
Oh,
so
not the brackets.
Yeah, no, the brackets are busted. So if your bracket is not busted, tell us about it. If your bracket is busted, tell us about it. Or don't. I mean, I don't really care either way. You know, like I said, people were asking me last week if my bracket was busted. I said, my bracket is $39 trillion in debt. It's been busted. So that's the only bracket I really care about. What else? I heard, I just got a message. There's some TSA news. So apparently the president has found, he searched the couch cushions of Mar-a-Lago.
We need a graphic behind us that just says state of emergency.
So mission accomplished could just slowly fade into. It's like that.
Every 20 minutes it fades in and out between mission accomplished and state of emergency.
It's like that meme I saw earlier where it's like, hey, our big accomplishment here in the war is to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. So basically put everything back the way it was before we spent $1 billion. Yep. But there'll be a lot of that discussion today. We'll talk about how government spends billions and sometimes trillions of dollars to end up right where they started. There was a great article. I did not post it, but I'm going to pull it up. We're going to talk about people are using the I word, insolvent, to describe our government, which I've been calling it insolvent and bankrupt for decades. But so it is finally... people that have much more notoriety than I are finally saying what we've all been thinking, is that our government is insolvent. I was reading an article yesterday about the Postal Service is bankrupt. I was reading an article about how so many people have lost their Obamacare that we may end up back to where we started at the beginning before Obamacare.
Will all the premiums go back to what they were, though?
Well, and this was what I was trying to explain to somebody. I said, you know, this is easy. This is stuff you can all Google. When they argue with me, I said, just Google it yourself. Why are you arguing with me? We've spent $1.5 trillion to end up back where we started from at the beginning before Obamacare. And people don't understand that. I said, if you had 82% of people had health care before Obamacare, and then a bunch of people got added to it, which was like 10%, wasn't even 100%, and then those people lost their Obamacare, you're back at the beginning. We've spent $1.5 trillion to end up where we started from, which is why this country's $39 trillion in debt. But again, let's put on our frog suits and blame one man for that, because that's going to solve things. Did you go to the protest this weekend? I want to hear about it. I want to hear. I saw.
I thought you were asking me
if you wore your frog suit. I mean, get one. I don't know. They have them in our size. I saw a lot of frogs and unicorns out on Ridge Road this weekend, and good for them.
Yeah, good for them.
First Amendment and whatnot.
I still, when we were at the old studio, the new old.
Old new studio. Or old new studio.
What I didn't, I still had questions about. Hey, why y'all doing this? There are no.
I ask myself that every Monday. You mean the
protest. Why are we doing this? Why are we here? There are no kings. I think it's silly to. I don't get it. I really don't, and no one has ever been able to successfully explain to me. Okay, no king's protest. Show me a king. Really, find me a king. And don't just say there's some caricature of Donald Trump from Jimmy Kimmel. And it's like, oh, that's a king. That's not a king. Come on now.
Well, but here's the thing, is everything that Trump has done so far, I can show you.
One last thing. They were having a no king's protest in London.
Yeah, no,
where there's an actual king.
Well, and King Charles must have not been happy about that.
Oh, sausage fingers.
Not that he cared or noticed.
Speaking of sausage, what are we doing next Monday?
That's a fantastic segue. So we are taking our show on the road. 2 out of 3 of us will be
eastbound and down
on the road. We're going to be heading to Big Frank's for Dingus Day, which I'm not Polish, but I've always enjoyed talking about Dingus Day.
Yeah, Fruit Loop
and
Dingus.
I ran into Stan at Big Frank's, and he said, "Hey, we should do Dingus Day here." I go, "That sounds fantastic. Find us some dinguses, and we'll do it." And he said, "Well, I thought you guys should do it." I said, "Okay." So we'll find out what a Dingus Day is. It's traditionally the day after Easter. What I didn't realize after talking to some people, it's also the day after you basically, people that have the Lenten. They call it the resolutions or whatnot. You have your resolutions, and then after Easter, your resolutions expire. So a whole bunch of people, like at 6 a.m. Monday, are like, "Hey, I'm done with my no drinking resolution. I'm going to head to Big Frank's and have a drink with you guys." So it's going to be. Let's tell them what happened. I asked Lynette. I go, "Hey, so we're doing this remote. Do you want to come?" And she's like, "Well, why? What would I do there?" I go, "I don't know, Lynette. What would you do at a bar?" She's like, "No, I'm good. I'll just stay." I was trying to be nice. I was like, "You want to come to the you're part of the team.
Hey, you're part of a field trip."
She's like, "No, I'm good. I'll stay here."
No. But it wasn't that she didn't want to go for the job. It's not that she didn't want to go to experience Dingus Day at 6 in the morning. It was, "Hey, don't you want to come with us?" No.
Don't you want to come with us to Big Frank?
Don't you want to come with us? No.
No.
And just the way she said it was just, no.
I'm trying to cut back on my alcohol, so.
Well, you don't have to drink.
Drink.
You could have some good Polish food too. I mean, he has all kinds of food there, so you could have all kinds of food. But the point is to go and have fun. She'd go, "Well, what would I do at the bar?" Like you would go and you'd hang out with people that listen to the show, and they would tell us how great we are, and they would tell you how great you are and what a great job you do, and you go, "Yeah, thanks." And they buy you a drink, and you go, "No, I don't drink." So, well, why are you here?
And they hand you a pierogi, maybe.
Hand you a pierogi. Yeah, you have a pierogi at 6 in the morning.
I mean, clearly, if you look at Chuck and I, we've
had our share.
We've had our share of celebratory pierogies.
But so that's the plan. Come hang out with us. I don't know how he's doing it. It's not the biggest place in the world, so we may have to be standing room. You may have to, we may have a bouncer out there. I don't know, but
Lynette.
Lynette, you could be the bouncer.
People go, no.
People be like, "Oh, you're the bouncer," and just give them that look. And go, "Okay, I'm done."
Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want any trouble. I'm out of here.
That's really why I wanted her to come, is just to keep an eye on us and watch our 6, keep us out of trouble, because we're gonna have our back to the audience.
Oh,
you never know who's gonna. Yeah,
dangerous. They'll be holding up signs. They'll hold no king sign.
Well, I mean, why would they call us kings though? I have no idea why anybody would do such a thing. But tune in to WJLB on YouTube. But I don't want. I don't know. You might lose the election if you wear that. They might protest you. They might put flyers on your windows.
They might put flyers on our windows. So backstory here. Some of you follow me on social media. Some of you don't. That's fine. Over the weekend in Dyer at multiple churches on Saturday, on No King's Day, at multiple churches. Flyers were left on cars at churches all over town for the afternoon service. And it was basically, hey, vote out all the incumbents. I chuckled because my name was on there, but I'm not running this year, so I snarkily said, put it on your fridge for a year and remember next year not to vote for me. I don't know.
Vote them all out, they said.
But in a small town, well, I've got here. If you want to hear something that'll get me booted next time, is I have a decent relationship with the Democrats in town. You know why? Because on the local level, we're all neighbors, and so
right, you all just want to have a nice town.
Yeah, paved roads, nice parks. So, I got a message from the Democrat chair on Saturday or on Sunday morning. It said, "Hey, who did that? Just FYI, it wasn't us." And I didn't figure it was. It looked very much like something you would find at some No Kings protest of just. Hey, elected people bad, not elected people good. What they don't realize is that if you get rid of the elected people, then not elected people become elected people, and then all of a sudden they're magically bad. It's a vicious cycle. So
it was not. You didn't ask if we did it, by the way. No, the Libertarian. I did not do it. Just if we're asking,
there is no way you guys would have spent money on flyers and walked around church parking lots.
And that becomes the question: is like, did they spend enough money to justify you go after them? And like, it's campaign violation. Who wrote this?
Well, aside from the fact that they were illegal flyers, campaign finance violations, no paid for by. I've done it. I have made door hangers and. Walked the town a dozen times over the years. If you're going to do something like that, if you are going to spend time to craft something on MS Paint, which this clearly was, and then get it printed, which costs money, so now you have time and money, and now you've got time and money and labor, going out to all these various churches and putting these flyers, get rid of all elected officials in that takes a lot of time. They linked a YouTube video to a town council meeting, which both Republicans and Democrats then rewatched it, and we were like, we don't understand where it was coming from. And so my point is, if you're going to do something like that, you have to message better. You have to say, this is why we want things done. This is our angst. You can't just go out there and say, no kings.
So two things. My first is, I would have really appreciated if they would have called you on that flyer like Councilman Stanky or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing is, just saying, you have flock cameras. We have those debates about the license. You do have license plate readers. Just saying. If you were a different kind of man.
If
you were a different kind of man.
Nobody will believe me when I say this, that I didn't even think about that until you just said it.
See?
That we did hear that the closest we heard was that someone at one of the churches, one of their security came out and said, tried to shoo this woman away. It was a woman with dark hair in a black or dark blue van.
But you can also subpoena ring footage if you wanted to, because you could subpoena Facebook.
I reposted the picture.
Like, I've given her more publicity than the flyers.
I tell you what, anybody in Dyer who has one of those that wants to save it for next year when I'm up. Call me. I will get you the magnet for your fridge.
Come to Big Frank's at 6:00 on Monday. We'll sign it for you.
Yeah, I'll sign it for you.
I will sign my own.
Not vote for me next year. Whatever.
Okay, so did you say we have calls? Let's see if the phones are working. Let's take some calls.
Breaker 19er.
Let's check in with first caller of the week. Good morning, caller. How are you this morning?
Have you been to Big Frank's before?
Oh, I go all the time. I have my own day, Walt. They have Chuck Day, which is why I wear my crown to Big Frank's. But I'm a regular visitor to Big Frank's. I think it's a fantastic establishment. I think it's one of those places that makes the region great. How about you?
Well, it's like an old-fashioned corner bar with a family area where, in the old days, there would be a family room. There'd be side entrance to the family room. Now they have a section that's for families, and then they have the bar area. It's the food they offer is not only Polish. They have a variety of American kinds of things. They have kiddie items for young kids, and bathrooms are clean, and it's a friendly place. And I could They have imported beers. I once stopped by. I'm not a drinker, but I decided to try the Polish imported beer, and it was outstanding. Wow, it reminded me of drinking a beer at a German a beer hall in Munich. It was that good.
Would you be willing to come by incognito next Monday?
Next week.
I know what you look like. Nobody else does. You can come incognito. I promise I won't call you out. You can come and join us at Big Frank's next Monday morning.
Possibly. What time does it start?
Right around now, 6 o'clock. Come by whenever. We're gonna be there all morning. Stop by at
6
7
in the morning.
Yes.
Oh, that early?
That's when we do our morning show.
You're on right now, so
yeah. No,
out.
I understand that it's early, but
I haven't showered. I haven't done anything. I just woke up.
Don't worry. None of us have showered either. But yes, roll out of bed and just come by. You can wear a robe. You can dress in a giant unicorn outfit. Nobody will know it's you. It'll be fantastic.
Did you see this editorial in the Post Tribune yesterday? Actually, it was sent to the Chicago Tribune, and then the Chicago Tribune publishes the Post Tribune and many of the suburban papers. And it's from Peter Navarro, the senior counselor to Trump for Trade and Manufacturing. It's headlined, "The lockout of BP's Whiting for Refinery is one that America cannot afford." And he goes on to say that BP needs to get serious and offer a reasonable negotiating position because that oil refinery is the biggest in the Middle West and the 8th biggest in the country. How about that?
So this becomes an interesting question. While I had mentioned earlier that there is news that I guess President Trump is going to declare a state of emergency. Is that what we're saying? So he's going to declare like a state of emergency in order to pay the TSA agents. Those of us that remember what happened with Ronald Reagan and the air traffic controllers, I mean, this is the kind of guy who very well could say, well, you're going back to work. If you're saying, if they start using phraseology, such as affecting the country and security threat, there's no reason why the Trump administration may not involve itself in this lockout, right? I mean, it's always possible.
How about to go back to Truman when there was a big coal miner strike, and he ordered the boys back to work, kind of thing. So, yeah, it's Trump may repeat the history. How about that?
I think it's very. I mean, again, I hesitate to say that
I brought him back. I brought him back to work better than anyone ever has before. Reagan's jealous of me.
Can you imagine such a thing that President Trump comes to Whiting and, basically negotiates this treaty, and then he goes to Lost Marsh golf course after that? Man, everybody would lose their minds. But
Bernie Sanders is crazy. The Bears, they'd love it here in Hammond. I love it in Hammond. I brought my people to Hammond before.
Maybe he'll be there for the train ride tomorrow. So this Walt. I don't know if you've been following.
I don't know where that came from, guys. I apologize.
Walt, tomorrow's the big day in Hammond, right? Tomorrow, are you going to be on the first train ride? You can go for a train ride tomorrow. I'll meet you on the train.
Well, I would say no. Now,
I would say no.
You go ahead.
In any case, I think that there's going to be plenty of space on that train.
Yeah, no, I think not for Bob and the other town councils, but there should be plenty of room on that train. So, but it'll be interesting to see what dignitaries decide to show up. It sounds like the mayor of Hammond and the governor will be riding together in a show of unity and bipartisanship to show that we can get anything done, whether it's a train or a stadium.
If it's with your money.
As long as it's your money, we can get it done. So anything else on your mind, Walt?
Well, yeah, there was a great cartoon in the Times.
No, that was actually an article. It wasn't a cartoon. It was real life. Well, I know it's hard to tell the difference anymore. Go ahead.
I started with the the article, the editorial from Mr. Navarro.
Right.
But this is a couple of political cartoons dating back about a week, both from the Times. And this one, it shows the picture is an Ayatollah. And he says in one block, we will kill tourists and other non-combatants throughout the world with guns, drones, and conventional missiles. And then the next block, it shows him saying, that's the price you pay for not trusting us with nuclear weapons. How about that? I think it's rather cute. And then the next cartoon, it shows a red Chinese oil tanker being tanked up by Iranian gas dispenser. And, of course, it reflects the reality, and namely the Chinese have supported the Iranians. They have a close relationship because Iran sells them very cheap oil. It's believed that the Chinese have provided the Iranians with uranium to work on for their nuclear bomb, and some assistance with technical help in terms of developing their missiles, kind of thing. And here's the words on it. There's a sign. It says Hormuz oil. Hormuz is the straits where most of about 20% of the world's oil tankers go through. And then the next thing it says, welcome loyalty card members. And the final thing, it says, death to everyone else. Sounds just like the just like the Ayatollahs. Death, that's their big thing. You know, everything is death. Death
to everybody.
Death to America.
Little Iranian flags for all. But, okay, Walt, appreciate the call. We have to take a break. Hopefully we will see you incognito next Monday. Just roll out of bed, throw your robe on, come on down. You'll fit right. It'll be like the dude of the region to show up in some shorts and a robe. So let's go ahead. Thanks, Walt, for the call. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with your phone calls. We've got Larry the K coming in at 7 o'clock to chat all kings and no kings, all the kings and know the kings. We'll be back with more after this.
Tech Credit Union supports the essential role of union labor in building strong communities. That's why we offer hassle-free banking, financial empowerment, and a commitment to your success. Save for the future, handle life's challenges, and trust a partner that stands by hardworking union members. Tech Credit Union, the better option for you and your money. Visit techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union, supporting union families every step of the way.
Summer's coming, and Deep River Water Park is taking applications for all positions. We have jobs both inside and out for all ages that offer great benefits. Free admission on your day off for you and a friend. Free uniforms, paid training, make new friends, flexible scheduling, and more. To apply, just go to deepriverwaterpark.com and you're on your way to a summer of rewarding fun.
Deep River Water Park. It's simply splash-tastic.
Plumbers Local 210 is building the future, and we're looking for service plumbers to join our team. Our training center invests nearly $500,000 every year to make sure our members are the best in the industry. From a 5-year apprenticeship and an associate degree at Ivy Tech to ongoing certifications in safety and new technology, our plumbers are trained for excellence. Every member is drug tested and licensed for your safety and peace of mind. When you need plumbing work done, make sure you ask for the license. It's your right to ask.
Introducing Powers Health, a health system with a new name and a strong legacy of caring for families in our community. One with a tradition of advanced specialized services and a vision for the future. One with a commitment to medical excellence and compassionate care. Everything we do, everything we believe, Powers Health.
6:25 here in the region. It is a beautiful Monday morning, beautiful week in store. Go out, time to start thinking about yard work and all that fun stuff. But in the meantime, there's a lot going on. I wanted to get into the story about NIPCO. So we had the story come out that NIPCO workers have voted overwhelmingly through the week to authorize a strike. And, of course, all the pop-ups. Thanks. I mean, okay, never mind. We'll get to it later once all the pop-ups are done loading. But why don't we talk about something else?
I think they had a similar vote, not unlike BP's, where something like 98% of them voted to authorize a strike. I believe that contract is up this week.
I don't know. There's too many pop-ups on a certain local news site that decides.
Here we go.
I got it. Okay. Yeah, I know. NIPSCO workers overwhelmingly through the week voted overwhelmingly to authorize a strike. More than 98% of the members of USW Local 12775 is at 12,775 voted to accept the strike. Workers voted all week. And then at McBride Hall in Gary, the American Legion in South Bend and Logansport over the weekend overwhelmingly decided to give the negotiation committee the authorization to strike if necessary. Hundreds of NIPSCO union workers are fed up. NIPSCO made over $900 million in net profit last year, and they expect their union workers to take deep concessions. Corporate greed has got to go. Said President Ryan Barker. So thoughts?
My initial thought was I know that their management side has been strike prepping for a long time, getting qualified. Not unlike what we had played. We had played something right before the show started, a replay of Eric Schultz, and he was talking about what some of management was doing over at BP, how they were training to do some of the critical tasks.
Right.
NIPSCO's been doing the same thing. It sounds like they're preparing for the strike, and not just preparing as in training for it, that they're prepped and ready. My own reading of the tea leaves is I don't see how they don't. So that will be interesting to have several of our largest unions in the area all on strike at the same time, and NIPSCO. I don't know what I want to say about that. You got to pay your guys.
I wonder what the average person. Walt had mentioned. The BP lockout, and obviously these both revolve around energy, which a lot of us, we had the recent protests at NIPSCO, and obviously energy costs are a huge concern for the average family. Is, what is the reaction from the average person on this? I mean, I guess obviously we are a blue collar area. We support our unions. We support the workers. But also at a certain point, you kind of say, well, look, regardless of who's locking who out, who's going on strike, my family can't afford another, increase in energy costs on electrical or gas, et cetera. So it's an interesting time that both of those things are happening at the same time. And it will be curious to see how that affects the region economically, and hopefully these are both short-lived because it has a huge impact on everybody. So you want to take some calls? Let's go ahead. We can take some calls. Let's. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Well, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
This is Ron Matlock. I like to identify myself. And I want to talk about No King's Day. I attended one yesterday in Gary, Indiana. 70% of the people didn't look like me, and I appreciated that. And I don't want to say it sound racist, but they were white. They were decent people. It was an orderly protest. I called the police. They said, "Why are you calling the police?" I'm calling the police right now because you got all these people standing on these corners, and people don't use guns no more. They use cars. And so I called them, and they said, "We were on our way anyway, Mr. Matlock." I said, "Well, I appreciate that because we anticipate that No King's Day." I heard one gentleman say it was stupid. What is this No King? Everybody know what that meant. I mean, that Donald Trump wants to be a king.
He
doesn't.
No, he doesn't. I don't even want to hear that anymore. He does not want to be king. There's nothing that he's done that makes him want to be king. He's done nothing different than anyone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's your opinion, and I have mine. Okay? If you let me have mine, I appreciate your opinion. I think this is what radio talk show is about. We're going to have disagreements, and apparently there are millions of people. It's estimated with like 10 million people across America. So, sir, your opinion, I appreciate that. I'm glad this is America. You have a right to your opinion. Okay? So right now, there were very peaceful protests. There was not one single incident of any kind of violence. It's a peaceful protest. It wasn't like the insurrection where they saw peaceful protests, but when they went in and they defecated on Nancy Pelosi's desk, and we had to send the vice president. Now, I'm not lying, send him out to keep him from being hang Pence. That was not a peaceful thing. So, sir, I appreciate your opinion, and I'm sure you're going to do a lot more in terms of spreading this around. So I'm just simply saying I have attended protests clean across America.
Ron,
okay?
you said something.
I did.
I wanted to ask you.
From Selma, hold on.
Go ahead.
But let me finish it then. You could ask me any question you want. Selma, you ever heard tell a Bloody Sunday?
Right. We know our history. We know about the Selma marches and everything like that. We appreciate the people that were there.
Selma March, where I didn't attend Selma March, but I did go back years later on when the Bloody Sunday, where they beat up thing, and it was a march from Selma to Montgomery. Montgomery is the governor of George Wallace said segregation day, segregation forever. That's what he said. He said that schools and stuff. So I'm just simply saying that I understand sometimes. I probably, if there was in shoes, I would just say they were stupid and they were causing trouble. I would probably say that. But as an African American, I just feel that I would be less than that. I don't only protest it and that. I'm going to be at whatever NIPCO have because they're charging people too much. And right now, we got people who believe that Donald Trump is bigger than what he's supposed to be. So, and he's supposed to be in no war because he lies. You know he lies. Okay? So I'm saying that, and anybody could beat me up. I understand that. I'm just saying have your facts because I know what's going on with these protests because Dr. King got killed trying to help those workers in Memphis, Tennessee. He was assassinated. And I don't believe that James Earl Ray did it. I believe that was a massive thing. So I'm just simply saying, brothers, you'll never agree with me. You'll probably dislike me, but I'm going to say, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay, let me ask you. So I want to ask you a follow-up, though.
Go. You certainly have a right to ask me that question.
Okay, so
you have the control.
Thank you. So because you said something interesting that I had seen a few other people mention is you said that a lot of the people at the protest didn't look like you. I was watching just a handful of different interviews with people, and there was a woman, a white woman at one of the protests, and was asked that same question. She said, "Why do you think that there are not a lot of African Americans, Hispanics, et cetera, at these protests?" And she said that she thinks that African Americans were afraid to protest. But you obviously had the courage to show up. Yep. Do you think that's? I mean, and you called the police. But so that's the question: is do you think that that's the reason that you did not have people that looked like you at these protests because they were afraid of the police? Why do you think they didn't come out to protest?
Sometimes they were based on the past. Sometimes blacks were brutalized by the police, and they just didn't show up. Sometimes my sister told me, who lives in Texas, if I was you, I wouldn't go because you know how these things could be. And so when I called the police, I know he pissed some of these people coming by and thumbs down and hollering, using the N words and stuff like. And that was why would they use that? And there were more white people. There were a few blacks, but there was I would say 70% white people out there, and that's great. These are great. We got some great American white people, and they want you to be free as well as you want to be free. They'll fight for your freedom. And so I'm just saying, freedom ain't free. And Dr. King got the Nobel Peace Prize. And then Trump wanted to get the Nobel Peace Prize. In other words, I want to outdo them. But I'm going to let you know, and I'm sure this is going to cause your show to be great today. Ron Matlock coming on.
Make
okay?
WGL be great again, Ron. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Have a nice day. So, I mean, but that is an interesting point that I saw. I've heard that from many people that at the protest, that it was sort of this overwhelmingly that there weren't a lot of, if you're protesting ICE and things like that there'd be more minority people, and depending on the area. But also to his point, when Ron calls the police, it's not like ICE and, whoever shows up, it's your local police department. Why would you be afraid of your local police doing such things? But, again, I'm curious. I want to understand more about it. I was going to ask Ron what he thought that those protests accomplished. What will be the long term of that? I was talking to somebody, I'll make this short. I was talking to somebody at work last week, that very nice guy, very knowledgeable guy, but he, like a lot of Americans, slept through civics class. So he was asking me what I thought would happen after the protest. He was asking me, he's like, well, what do you think that Trump's going to step down? He asked me, he said, if he steps down, who's going to be president? I go, well, JD will be president. He said, well, he was kind of, in his mind, I think he was convinced that if enough people protested, that somehow, apparently in his mind, and again, somebody had given him this idea that if enough frogs and unicorns show up, that there's some sort of recall mechanism. There's a certain threshold. a frog unicorn reverse electoral college that triggers if you can only get enough frogs in every community. Like, in somebody's mind, they've convinced themselves that if enough people protest, that Trump will be recalled or impeached or will step down. And then he was asking me who I thought would be the next president. I go, well, I'm pretty sure it would be JD, barring, something. And then he was asking me, like, who would win the next election? And I go, well, that's kind of not how that works. But, it's funny because I was seeing this. Did you see this thing about Rand Paul over the weekend?
About how he's thinking about running? He's
thinking about running, but he wants to not give up his Senate seat. So, again, kudos to him for thinking outside the box there. But so he was asking me, he said, well, who, if it were up to you, who would you like to see run? I go, well, for one, at this point, I'd like to see like Rand Paul and John Fetterman run, because Rand isn't a Republican and John isn't a Democrat. So if you're asking me who should run, it would be those two. But I said, if you're asking me like what the dumbest outcome is.
Watching the left just go nuts over John Fetterman. Now.
Right.
Is because one day it probably wasn't even a MAGA hat. It was probably just some like a Boston Reds hat. He was like, "Oh, that's a nice red hat." And watching the left just start seizing on this guy because he.
But that's the amazing
he
thing.
Didn't read the tagline that he was supposed to.
But that's how fickle politics are. Is that he was a darling? I mean, again, and I was like, okay. I had questions about his health. It's like, okay, is this guy fit to run? If he is, I mean, I don't live in Pennsylvania, so if they vote for him, so be it. But now the same people that said, how dare you attack him for his medical condition, are now making fun of him, going, well, he clearly has a medical condition. Well, no, they're saying he had a stroke and now he's a conservative. It's like, aren't you the ones that just like 6 months ago were outraged because people made fun of the man? So again, it's just sort of the thing where it's like, hey, you're our darling until you don't fall lockstep in with what we want. And I mean, he had the audacity to say, hey, I'm voting my conscience on these things, or I want to get things done. And so now what's happening? The same people that he was their darling they're now attacking him and asking him to be impeached. But so, I mean, that's sort of the thing, is that you end up in this situation where, the message has been sent. I mean, and you look at Rand Paul, and I talk about this often, the idea that here's a guy who, rarely falls in line with his party. He's been beaten up, shot at, any number of other things, because he votes his conscience. He does what he thinks is right. And Fetterman's sort of in that same boat. But this guy was asking me, he said, well, who do you think is going to be the nominee and stuff like that? I said, well, at this point, I said, I always look for the dumbest possible outcome when it comes to American politics. I said, the dumbest possible outcome is that these millions of people that had Epstein files, signs over the weekend would support J.B. Pritzker for president, because that's the same people that told me they couldn't vote for Trump because of how wealthy he is would vote for J.B. Pritzker because it's the dumbest possible outcome, because that's what we do in this country. So if you're asking me, I mean,
well, in many ways, if you, objectively, if you take a look at it, aside from Trump has been better at being bombastic for longer, Trump and Pritzker are really the same in ways. This is just so
Be
weird
careful.
to say. Yeah.
I know where you're going with this.
Both
people aren't going to get this.
billionaires, kind of buying their way in. Definitely both understand the tax code.
Right. The toilet tax code,
the
especially.
toilet tax code. So, I mean, if you're just making a pros and cons chart, take away your feelings for both, they're kind of the same. And to your point, you're right. The same people that were out there this last weekend, they're like, no kings, billionaires are bad. They're going to line
Epstein
up.
list.
An Epstein list.
And then they'll
vote
for the guy who President Clinton said, yeah, I'm pretty sure the guy that took me to Epstein Island is now the governor of Illinois.
Yeah.
But so again, dumbest possible outcome, because that's what we do here. Do you want to we'll take a break, we'll reset, we'll take some calls, and then Larry the K will be in here in a little bit, and we'll get caught up on all the weekend's news. So let's take a break. We'll be back with more after this.
Life's biggest challenges don't come with a warning. When legal issues arise, whether it's a car accident, personal injury, criminal charge, or representing you before municipal boards, you need a trusted advocate on your side. At Westland & Bennett, we listen first because your story matters. We provide strategic, personalized legal solutions to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Peace of mind starts with a conversation. Call 219-440-7550 today for a free consultation.
Ennigenberg Roofing offers roof replacements, repairs, and new construction. Certainteed Shingle Master certified, our goal is to treat every customer and project with respect, courtesy, and honesty. Serving Northwest Indiana for over 63 years, contact us for a free roof replacement estimate at 219-365-8879. Mention this ad and receive a free upgrade to Certainteed Pro Shingles. Ennigenberg Roofing, 219-365-8879.
Indiana wants me.
Know a Hoosier serving in the military or living overseas? Indiana wants every eligible Hoosier to participate in our elections. Military and overseas voters can register and vote securely from anywhere in the world. Voting assistance for service members, families, and eligible Hoosiers is available now. Visit IndianaWantsYou.com or contact your county election office. And remember, Indiana wants you. Message sponsored by your Indiana Secretary of State.
Indiana wants me.
Do you like to work with your hands, creating something from nothing? Then think about Laborers Local 41. You'll get 432 hours of apprenticeship training, all while earning a wage with benefits and incurring no student debt. You'll travel to different job sites, learn tons of skills, and in a lot of cases, be the first one on and the last one off a job site. It all starts at laborers41.com.
Let's take a quick look at traffic and weather. Traffic, everything is still looking good. It's a quiet Monday here in the region. Not much to report at the moment. 8094, Skyway Toll Road, I-65, everything looking good. On the Illinois side, everything looking fantastic over there. Bishop Ford, little slowdown at the merger, as Tony Panic would say, at the Dan Ryan, Bishop Ford, I-57 merger. A little slowdown going into downtown. Other than that, nothing much to report on the Illinois side as well. Lynette, how is the weather?
Good morning, everyone. Today we're at 53 degrees with highs of 76 and lows of 64. It's going to be warmer with sun followed by increasing clouds and then breezy this afternoon. And then tomorrow and Tuesday we'll be having highs of 73 and lows of 36. It should be cloudy, windy, and very warm with a couple of heavy thunderstorms in the afternoon. And then Wednesday we'll be having highs of 45 and lows of 40. It should be mostly cloudy, breezy, and cooler with a little rain in the afternoon.
Thank you so much. I got a breaking news alert over the break. It says, let's go, dorks, take some calls. So you can kind of guess who that may have been. So let's anxiously waiting to take some phone calls to hear from that particular person. So good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah. Hey, I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep, I gotcha.
I'm just wondering, is it that early that I missed something on what Ron Mailbox just said and why he called the cops? Because there were too many white people at the protest? Was that it?
I mean,
Yeah, that was it. Which shows just what a horse's ass that guy is. Cries racism all the time, and yet he sees a bunch of white people in Gary, and he calls the cops.
He
listen,
was
dude,
worried that
if you
they would
had
get hit
more
by a
white
car.
People, you wouldn't have your people, Ron Mailbox, shooting each other so much because you wouldn't have as many targets. Is that guy kidding me with that crap? Unbelievable. Just how do you? Hey Chuck, were you asleep at the wheel, or Bob? What were you were thinking about the NCAA game yesterday? You didn't sit down with your son to watch to bring him into USA manhood, watching one of the greatest NCAA tourney games in the history of the tournament yesterday.
Go ahead, tell us
Did
about
you guys
your
miss what
brackets.
Ron
How did
said
the
there?
brackets work out?
Much to Liam's chagrin,
dude, what's that?
I had Liam out yesterday, and we were knocking doors for some candidates in Dyer. So no, we didn't get to.
Instead of
that.
watching one of the you're talking about the elite games,
Yeah.
a trip to the Final Four, you didn't at least take them over to Chili's or something and get them the $10.99 burger deal. You guys could have split and watched the game.
No, I did buy him ice cream afterwards though, because
You might have to put him back on eBay where you got him in the first place. Come on, brother.
Wow.
Holy moly. So Ron did say that, right? He called the cops because too many white people, right?
He was worried they would get hit by a car.
Listen. Yeah, what? Because someone carjacked the car and went nuts?
Okay. Anyway, what?
It just how does it never end? How do you guys not say, hey, Ron, that's kind of racist to say that?
We were waiting for you to call in and do it.
Yeah, I mean, if we say it all the time, what would you need to call in for?
Right.
Good point. Hey, listen, I hear the McCaskies are going to be on that train on Tuesday.
That might
For
be
the
why
Bears,
Bob
with
lost his
Caleb
invitation. That might be why, because the Bear and the Honey Bears or whoever and
Yeah,
the whole team might be on
the
that.
Honey Badgers, the
Yeah.
Northwest Indiana Honey Badgers.
Yeah, they might be. They might be coming through, but I don't have my my safety boots here anymore, so I don't want my nuts getting electrified. So I'm going to pass on that invitation.
Hey, look, they spent $25 million
Tomorrow.
rectifying that issue for now that we know of.
Ooh, rectify.
Rectify.
yeah,
You
That's a
get
good.
it?
By the
That's a
way-
good electrical
Get it?
term there,
Yeah,
because that
rectify.
was the issue. Yeah. Good job.
Did you ask your boys on the inside what the real cost was? Because they go down. It was $125 million, and they found a way to bury it.
No, so I
Gotta
was
look, you gotta
told
look into that, Chuck.
I was told 25 mil. So if you've heard otherwise, that was just for the ties, and then there was the Wish transformers that were problematic. But they are claiming.
Cost of the ties.
Well, they are claiming that they
cost
came in under
of
budget.
The ties
So
was
they,
was 25. The labor to take them out and put them in.
well,
Start asking questions, Chuck.
okay. Well, like I said, I mean that's the official record is saying that it came in on time or on budget, not on time, and that the contractor ate the cost of the $25 million to replace the
Because
ties.
they just do that.
But that becomes
You
well.
think
How do
the
you?
how much
contractor
of a
just said, hey,
scam- how much of a
we'll eat
scam
that
is it?
cost?
How much of a scam is it that you can just eat 25 mil? Ah, my bad.
That's fine. There's a little. We got overhead there.
I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah, just start asking some questions, will you? Hey, and just so you know, good for your remote Dingus Day show. I hope it's better electronics or remote than Jimmy ran on the Purdue game this weekend. He only cut into the game like 3 times with McDonald's commercials while the play was going on. I literally almost put my foot through my tune-up. What do you call it? The YouTube?
I don't think that was him though. I don't think you can blame him for that. I don't think he was sitting here running McDonald's commercials.
They were local commercials, bro.
For
You think what
McDonald's?
Purdue was running. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Either way, it's your station. We don't care. It's him. Can you not run the thing right? Can we at least hear an Elite 8 game with Purdue in it without hearing, I think one of the guys...
when that will be funny is if you just interrupted him with a McDonald's commercial right
That would
now.
be amazing.
Just start running a McDonald's commercial and hang up on Mad Mac. If you feel like it, just at some
Unreal.
point, if he calls back.
Well, listen, good news for Dingus Day. It turns out Walt can make it out there because the guy actually does sleep in his cardigan and khakis, so he'll just roll right out of bed.
Have a quick
come in with
Mr.
that
Rogers
green
moment,
cardigan.
throw on the new shoes, and get out the door.
Change his shoes and he's on his way.
Yeah, you guys just have to bring, one of those misters, the steamers, as he walks in. Give him pat him up a little bit, and he'll look fresh as a daisy. But he'll be there. If there's any free sausage going out, Walt's in, all right?
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and Ron Mailbox, if you can call back in and
Stop
confess
it. You said it
to
3
being a
times
Okay,
now.
we get it.
And it's like Beetlejuice.
Okay, thank you for the call. Do you have anybody else?
We got one more.
Okay, take a call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Gentlemen.
Good, sir. Who came in?
No, that goes to both of you. Hey, I'm one of those people that when Matlock called in last Monday and said that he lives comfortably, but there's some people that call in that don't have a pot to piss in. I'm one of those people. So, Matlock, I hope that makes you feel better about you. But, Bob,
What's up?
Matlock did it, dude. I checked just prior to calling. There still are no kings.
Well, I mean,
We the 250
hang on
year
one
streak
second.
continues.
If you're watching, breaking news, there are no kings. Congratulations.
Hold on. I got a lot of people around me. Matlock, hold on. Good job, Ron Matlock. No kings, baby!
That's all I got.
I appreciate people's First Amendment right to protest things that they consider to be important. I guess, did he hang up? Okay, he hung up. But look, everyone has a First Amendment right to do things.
They do, and really that's good. I've always said that as much as when I drive down, they're usually up at 41 and
Ridge in Indianapolis there.
And as often as I say, and I will continue to say, I don't understand the no kings thing. I don't get it. I love living in a place that you can do that because someday I may need to, go out there and do something.
But just to be clear, though, as somebody who lived there for a long time, they exercised their First Amendment right, no blood for oil, et cetera, under the Bush administration. They were conspicuously absent for the Obama administration. They reappeared for the Trump administration.
Almost as if they're funded by an outside organization.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying it's interesting how we had 20 years of war, but they were only out there under the Bush and Trump administrations. I did not hear. You
mean there weren't protests on Ridge Road when Obama was bombing weddings?
Well, and so this becomes an interesting. Here, let me flip my page.
Oh, ooh.
There's a page.
This is a page turner.
There's a page for that. This is what is interesting to me, and this is something we'll bring it up when Larry comes in, and this is an open question to anybody that protested over the weekend. I was a journalist for a long time. I remember going out to the Gary Airport on Thursdays when, Reverend Marie and, 10 other people were out there protesting ICE and deportations under the Obama administration. Once Trump took over, that number ballooned from, 10 to 200. There was never a no kings ICE protest under the Obama administration, even though he deported 3.1 million people. To your point, there was never any outrage when President Obama killed 37 people at a wedding party in Yemen in December of 2013, or when he killed the American 16-year-old teenager Anwar al-Awlaki in October of 2011. There was no outrage then. There was no King's protest. There was nobody calling him a tyrant or anything like that. And I asked the question this weekend, why now? And I will continue to ask that question. Why are you outraged when one president blows up a boat with a drone, but you aren't outraged when a different president wearing a Nobel Peace Prize blows up a wedding of innocent people? Why was there no King's protest then? Where was the outrage then? Why were there only 15 people protesting the deportations at the Gary Airport back then? And so I ask why now. So I will stop short of calling all of you hypocrites, but I will ask you, if you were only outraged when the other guy does it, then yeah, that kind of makes you a hypocrite. Just saying. I didn't see a single, what about the $39 trillion in debt sign? I looked all over, did not see a single sign about the debt. Didn't see a single sign about, defund the federal, shut down, end the Fed, end the Federal Reserve. Didn't see any signs about that. Your focus is on one man. Your focus is, we need to get rid of this guy. Everything was great before this guy. Did you see any of these memes about like how great things would be right now if Kamala was president? We would have like flying cars and free college.
Yeah.
Like, this is the problem with the average American. If my guy or if my queen won, we would not have these issues. If my guy had won, things would be great. But instead, we voted for your king, and now we have all these problems that, oh, by the way, we've had, forever. But it's this guy's fault. And if we could just get rid of that one guy, if we could just get rid of that one guy, that one tyrant, that one Hitler devil king, things would be great. And the reason is, I was asking people over the weekend, I said, when is the accountability protest? When is the protest where the average American says, hey, look, I'm going to take accountability for my vote. I'm going to take accountability for the fact that I voted for people and they did not deliver on their promises. And I will take accountability for that, because both parties, you vote for them, they make you promises, you vote and go, that's my guy, I'm going to vote for him. And then nothing happens. And then you say, well, it's everybody else's fault but my guy. It's not my guy's fault. It's everybody else's fault. It's the king, no kings, but no kings, but my guy voted for all those things. And that's what I ask. When is the accountability? When is I will take accountability for my actions. I will stop blaming other people for my problems. I will start, accepting that we need to do things differently in this country. If we are going to, we are insolvent. We are an insolvent nation. And you think the solution is, well, we just got to tax Elon Musk some more and problem solved. The Postal Service is insolvent. You don't have people at the airports. Like how bad do things have to get before the average person says, hey, maybe it's the system. Maybe it's not just this guy. Maybe it's the system that needs to change.
Did you see that they play it back to back? I think it's a couple years apart. Maybe it's just a year apart, where the governor of New York was telling these millionaires and billionaires to leave.
So Kathy Hochul said, go ahead and leave.
Represent our values. Go to Florida. Leave.
Right.
And a few months later, please come back.
And one of the Cuomo said the same thing. He said, we don't need you. And then a year later said, I will cook you dinner if you come back. Mom Dami came out the other day and said sort of the same thing. It's like, we don't need you. And oh, by the way, but again, perfect example. I'm going to do all this stuff. It's all going to be free. And then a month later, oh, by the way, I inherited a financial crisis from Eric Adams. It's the worst thing ever. And by the way, I won't be able to do any of the things I promised.
Who was it? Robert De Niro and Mom Dami are now they've
Right.
got a tiff on the Twitters. And they're going back and forth because
But that's the point, though, is that we continue to elect people. He was elected on these promises of free childcare and free buses. And then a month later, he goes, oh, by the way, I looked at our financials. It's not good. And I won't be able to do any of that. And I'm going to raise taxes on everybody. I'm going to raise everybody's property taxes, and I'm still not going to deliver on my promises. And what are you going to do about it? Right? I mean, because that's the genius of politics. Elect me. And then once I get in, like, well, what are you going to do about it? Sorry, can't deliver on my promises. What are you going to do about it? Nothing, right? I mean, that's the inherent problem with our system, is that accountability, where you don't hold your people accountable. And then you say, well, vote harder next time. I should have voted harder. It's the other guy's fault. Anything else you want to talk? We can't take a break until Lynette comes back.
Yeah, Lynette just left us. I saw her walk out, and she was like, "I guess we're just going to keep rolling."
So Larry's here. It is 7:00, so let's take our break. Let's reset. Bring Larry in, and we will chat more. after these commercial messages on WJLB, the voice and vase of the region.
For over 100 years, Roofers Local 26 has been keeping Northwest Indiana dry and safe. Since 1919, our highly trained members have built a reputation for skills, safety, and reliability. With a 4-year apprenticeship and certifications in OSHA safety, first aid, and CPR, we deliver quality you can trust. When you need roofing done right, choose Roofers Local 26, protecting what matters most for over a century. For more information, visit www.roofers26.com.
Are you sausage curious?
Who's ready for Polish?
Big Frank Sausage has the very best Polish food in the region.
You had a mouthful of Big Frank sausage?
We have a full bar, dine-in, carry-out, delivery, and catering available.
I've had a mouthful of Big Frank sausage.
I've got a mouthful of Big Frank sausage.
219-378-9556. Smacznego i na zdrowie.
Who's ready for Polish?
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. And welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people is a smile.
Thank you.
Strag and Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
IBEW Local 697 electrical contractors bring the highest standard of electrical work to Lake County homes, schools, and businesses. From everyday fixes to once-in-a-lifetime builds, we don't just get the job done, we get it done right and up to the highest safety standards. When you need electrical work, hire the professionals who power Indiana. Powering Indiana, Lake County, bringing excellence to the job, creating a brighter future for our community.
How dynamic are these?
They're good, yeah.
You like that, do you?
Yeah, I do. I don't have to bring it up here.
Now you can adjust that. That'll make it.
I've never seen such a thing.
I bought the good ones.
Oh, you bought all this?
Well, a lot of
what?
it, yeah.
Really?
It's
Like
okay.
with Jim's money?
To write
No.
No, with your money?
With my money.
Dang, dude, that's commitment for the station.
Yeah.
That's commitment.
Larry's from the...
Hi, this is Larry the K. Welcome to WJOB 1230 AM, 104.7 FM with...
In beautiful Hammond, Indiana.
In beautiful Hammond, Indiana with Chuck and Bob.
It's good to have you here.
I like being
We
here.
do have to do traffic and weather.
It sucks.
It is. Well, no, actually it doesn't. There's no traffic.
The road is paved and the weather's okay.
Right. Now back to this. But no, 8094, I-65, Skyway Toll Road, everything looking good. On the Illinois side, everything looking good. Little slowdown Bishop Ford into the Dan Ryan on in. Other than that, things looking fantastic on the roadways. How about the weather?
Good morning, everyone. Today we're at 51 degrees with highs of 76 and lows of 64. It's going to be warmer with sun, followed by increasing clouds, then breezy this afternoon. And then tomorrow and Tuesday we'll be having highs of 73 and lows of 36. So it'll be cloudy, windy, and very warm with a couple of heavy thunderstorms in the afternoon. And then Wednesday we'll be having highs of 45 and lows of 40. It should be mostly cloudy, breezy, cooler, and a little rain in the afternoon.
Thank you so much. Larry, tell people about yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
My name's Larry, formerly Larry the K of WJOB. I will be 54 years old soon, and you invited me here.
I did. Thank you for coming.
I'm a lifelong Lake County resident between Munster and Hammond. Been here all my life. Chuck, just like you.
Just like
you. You've been here. You're East Chicago born, right?
East Chicago, Roxana.
There you go. Did you ever have to call the cops on anybody?
No, they called the cops on us.
They called the cops on you?
Yeah, but I was young.
Well, where was your accountability when you were young? What happened?
We were out gallivanting.
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 Yeah.
Gallivanting.
Oh, that's a graphic we need up on the screen.
We used to
walking along those wooden sidewalks.
No, we would sled down the South Shore Hill, and they would call the police on us for sledding on the train property.
I used to do that off Calumet Avenue. Nobody ever called.
I used to sled over by Kennedy on the IHB tracks over there.
Oh, nice.
I don't know, for some reason they don't like it when you sled down onto train tracks. Like
federal property, man.
Apparently,
it's federal property.
They call the police on. Yeah, or we'd stay out too late. We'd stay out past this when the street lights came on. And,
Chuck,
wow,
that's Bob. What did you do?
Where
are you from, Bob?
Born and raised in Dyer.
Oh, man.
I bought the house from my folks that they bought after they got married in the late 70s.
Very nice.
So I lived
Very
like
nice.
2 or 3 blocks away. So like we used to in the day we used to climb up on the we used to go to Northgate Park in Dyer and
Climb the hill?
we
the
climb
hill
up on the
wasn't there
build.
yet.
So they had a pavilion we used to climb up on top of, and then we used to go up in the chimney until they bricked it up. And,
We just unbricked it.
Did you?
And we had a
Can I go up there now?
we had a chimneyologist.
Gymnologist.
Really?
Come out.
I didn't
and
know there
redid
was
it.
such
So-
a thing.
So now we can have fires back. I just made up that word.
That's great. Oh, no, that's all right. I'm into made-up words.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So now
into
you
it.
can do that. But when they de-bricked it, the graffiti up there was
How much was the
Wait,
rebricking?
did you find that Chuck was here about yay high?
about yay high.
Yeah.
Did you used to climb on the chimney or in the chimney?
Well, you used to have to go
Yes.
up and back down, right?
Oh,
Yeah, because
Okay,
they
I
bricked
see.
it up.
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
But that's what we and occasionally they called the police. But yeah.
Yeah, no, the hill that was just spoil from when they put Calumet
Subdivision,
through.
yeah.
When they put Calumet
Back in our
through.
day, Calumet Avenue didn't even go all the way through the 30.
No,
It
it
just
didn't.
stopped.
Oh,
right
I
there.
remember when it went just to Maine.
Just to Main Street, right?
Heck fire. I remember when it barely went to Maine. Truly. 2 lanes.
And now there's a train station there. What a time to be alive.
I'm telling you. Progress, Chuck. Progress. You can't have the covered wagon forever.
Why not?
Because it's cold outside, man.
Wow.
Don't you want to
Yeah.
be warm? Jeez. Convenience, dude.
Have you ever ridden a horse at 6 a.m.?
Chuck, have you ever ridden a horse naked backwards through a cornfield
Okay, we're going off the rails.
Wearing nothing but a crown?
wearing nothing but a crown?
Now that's a no kings protest
Yeah.
I'm going to.
That's It's okay. Go ahead. What's your content for today?
Give me 5 minutes. I'll put
Besides
a
local
graphic up.
racism and echo chambers, what do you got?
Oh, that's what we do best.
Oh, okay. All
That's
right.
what
Well,
we've
You're
been doing that
listening to WJOB.
for,
12:30.
for 101 years here on WJOB, Larry. I mean, what else do we do?
I don't know. I don't think Julian Colby ran it quite like. But hey, whatever. Free speech.
Hey,
free
we
speech.
can do bargain bonanza if you got a bird
Right.
cage to sell.
I got to tell you, I do a very large bird cage. Hey, I'm going to talk to you later. That might be coming back.
You're gonna sell a
in
bird
some
cage?
form. Yeah, we're going to
Okay.
sell bird cages. So over the weekend, I went to. I was up in Michigan visiting my friend Jennifer, and happened to be the No Kings bit, as I know
Right.
you were talking about on the way in.
Right.
To your point, who was protesting back in 2012? The Tea Party.
Okay.
The Tea Party. Okay, just
No.
let that roll around for a minute, and you
was-
might get to where we are.
Okay,
today.
go ahead. Go ahead.
But anyway, so I Niles, Michigan had its No Kings protest, as it did last June. When I went, about 500 or so people along downtown Niles, Michigan. It was quite enjoyable, I must say. Once I met George Soros.
You got
and
your check?
Well, no. I got my check.
Right.
Yeah, he gave me $75 and a pre-made sign.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah. And then afterwards, Mr. Soros, the nice guy that he is, the guy's a nonagenarian right now. He's like, what, in his 90s?
Well, his
This
grandson's
little old,
taken over, though.
Oh, is that what's
Yeah.
it? So it's it's Soros 2 Electric Boogaloo.
It's an Ayatollah situation.
Oh, it is? Not like the Shah?
No.
No, okay, so it is an Ayatollah situation. Well, at any rate. So I got my money, I got my professionally made sign, and I stood there for an hour, and I went home, and I was happy. It was great. I never knew this was real. All this stuff I've been told over the years about how we got pre-made signs ready to go, and everybody loves everybody over there, and it's great, and it's just, Chuck, I've never seen anything like it. I'm going to go to every No Kings protest I can
Well,
for the rest of my life.
just make sure you claim it on your taxes.
Oh, no.
No?
Soros said I don't have to.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so here becomes if we can.
And the Venmo was under 600, so it was good.
Oh yeah.
It was all cash. Bob.
Yeah.
All cash.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Got nothing, Chuck?
What is
It's radio.
What would you imagine
Show's over at 9, Chuck.
is the goal here? What is the expected outcome? What is the hoped upon outcome of these protests?
Well, let's look at some things realistically here. In a lot of people's eyes, the government is not doing what the government should be doing.
But that just started now.
Let me
though.
finish.
That just started under this
Don't give me
administration,
that.
right?
It just started now. Because where
Just
were you?
making sure.
Where were you 14 years ago?
I was protesting
Okay, you
every
are
damn
much
time.
younger
I was
than
at
you are now,
every
Chuck.
damn
Okay, let's
protest.
talk about the here and now. Let's get a couple things straight. Every president in the United States does stupid stuff. Let's just
Well, we
get that
agree
straight.
there.
Let's get that
Right.
straight. All right.
I have a list,
And
right?
the system that is in there helps enable a lot of this behavior. Now, when you have an echo chamber around you and you're the man in charge, that's your system that is propping you up. So it's not, Donald Trump is the face of the system. Okay? He's the face of the system. There it is, right there. So, yeah, I think personally when I protest, it's like, number one, I want to see change. I have 2 nephews who are in their early 20s. I don't want to see them get boots on the ground. If Chuck, I'm not silly enough to say, oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm like you. It's got to happen in a logical form. We see those markers, right? You and I have talked about this. We see these things, you and I. So he is the face of the system that is, if you want to use that word, oppressing people. All right? You talk about ICE. You talk about ICE and how it was used successfully and for its purpose under former President Obama. What is ICE's purpose right now? Okay, well, the optics are it's some little brown shirt army he's got going on, taking people off the street because of the skin of their color. Or the color of their skin. That is the perception. All right, and American citizens are getting rounded up in that. You talk about the wedding that got bombed 14, 15 years ago. Great. We're talking about now, Chuck. We're talking about now.
Okay, so let's talk about accountability.
Go ahead. Personal accountability or accountability of the government?
Let's talk about accountability of the government.
All right, go for it.
Let's talk about the difference between ICE under the Obama administration and ICE today. What did the major cities do when ICE wanted them to hand people over under the Obama administration? What did they do? Here you go. Put them on a bus. Take them to the Gary airport. That's the difference between now and then was they were cooperating with the Obama administration. They are not cooperating with the Trump administration.
Now, was ICE put down on the ground during the Obama administration under somewhat specious and false pretenses and due to the personal racism percepted of the President of the United States?
So
they're rapists, they're murderers, they're out of insanity. There's the thing, too. Is this guy ever going to get to the point where he understands what an asylum is and the difference of that between that and seeking asylum? I don't think so, Chuck. I don't think so. We have an idiot in charge. Let's understand that.
Accountability.
Okay. Has never been made accountable for anything in his life due to his status. Let's put it that way. Due to his status, which is far different from the 4 of us sitting here. All right. Which is far different from the guy that owns this building. He is the face of our leadership. He says and does things through his executive orders, just like Obama did. But you know what the problem is? The optics suck, Chuck.
Yeah.
He has to insert himself in every argument that happens. He has to say something. Something happens that doesn't even remotely involve him in any way, and he's got something to say about it, and it's generally something negative.
Right.
That's the face of the system that is in charge right now. So what are you going to do? Sit there and say no kings and hold up a blank face? Are people got to have somewhere to direct their ire? Does it get a little crazy at times? Do people get a little nuts about it? Sure. But you listen to any handful of callers here, they're just about as nuts as Trump as they say we are about, not Trump. It's early in the morning,
right?
Spring break. So tell me again where the accountability is, Chuck.
Where is
you talk personal accountability? Shouldn't Donald Trump be personally accountable to keep his goddamn mouth shut?
That would have.
Isn't that a problem?
Would he be here right now if he was
Is
somebody
that a problem, Chuck?
Everything is a problem.
No. Is that a problem? Answer yes or no. Commit to something on the show, will you?
Absolutely.
You sit and lord it all over everybody. I'm a libertarian. I'm this. I know better.
Yes.
Well, guess what? You don't.
Okay.
You don't.
Then let's just keep doing the same thing we've been doing for
Content, Chuck.
Years.
Content.
Let's do the same thing we've been doing. Let's just vote for the sons and the grandsons of the same guys we voted. Our parents voted for.
How it was
and
way
let's
back
hope
in
that
post-revolutionary
things get better.
days.
It is so tough being at this table, being the only one who's right. It's just.
I know. Well,
tough.
hey, I'm gonna give you Republicans a little bit of juice too here. This is good juice. Here's the thing. I do believe most people who vote Republican, consider themselves conservative, are center. And I believe most voters in the United States are center. I do.
I would agree with that, and I would agree that, not to interrupt your point, but to say that most people who vote Republican are center, are conservative, are probably somewhat libertarian in what they may think is libertarianism.
Remember, libertarians have their basis in liberal ideology. That's why
Correct.
they have the name.
Classical
there you go. Go ahead.
liberalism,
That's all right.
just
Go ahead.
like
There you go.
Classical
There you
liberalism,
go.
just like Bill Maher. And I believe that many of the Democrats are left of center, as your mayor likes to say.
Many are left of center.
Are left of center, but not radical left or radical far right.
Okay, so where's the criteria for radicalism come in?
I don't know. I mean, it's a made-up term, like far right extremist, and what is it? Far right adjacent. I mean, all these made-up terms to describe people.
Right.
And so this becomes the question: is that when you have politicians that are essentially the radical fringe, because that's what gets them through the primary process, but the average American is not a radical. They are slightly right or left of center. Are they? Is the average American setting themselves for disappointment because every time they vote for somebody, they vote for people that promise them all these things, whether it's on the right or on the left, and then they don't deliver on any of that stuff?
I think you're forgetting about one word:
Go ahead.
compromise.
Why?
Why? Well,
how do you compromise when you've got people this far apart? When you've got Trump over here and you've got
how many people say they're voting the lesser of two evils?
All of them. Literally all of them.
Well, that's a compromise, isn't it?
And then they say, well, I voted for the lesser of two evils. Why is there still evil? Well, you voted for the slightly lesser.
There's always
going to
be evil, Chuck.
Right. And that's the problem, is that we accept the fact that we just go, there's going to be evil. Like, why do we have to accept that? Why is that the accepted answer?
I don't know.
Right.
Why do I don't know.
Can we agree on this idea that it's sort of, I was talking about these memes I saw over the weekend. It's like, if only we had voted Kamala, we would have like this utopia.
I heard you 20 minutes ago.
Like,
yeah,
those memes about people saying, well, if only we had voted for my guy, things would be. We would have health care by now. We'd have free college. But if only we, like, why didn't any of that happen?
Well, who should we have voted for, Chuck? I'm asking you. Who would you have liked to see? The libertarian guy, or you just didn't want to vote and say to hell with it?
Like 60% of this country, I'm kind of like at the point where I don't like any of the options. I would vote none of the above. Try again. I mean, that's the problem.
Can't right
There's
now.
no solution, right? Again, so you're saying either the lesser of two evils or no solution. I mean, at this point, I'm staying home. I mean, I like 60% of this country because we don't have we don't have driver's licenses apparently, so that's why we stay home, right? Because we don't have a driver's license. We're not smart enough to get a driver's license to vote, but. The reality is that the majority
Indiana's always had voter ID.
Right.
Man.
And everybody manages to vote that wants to, right? I mean, we've had voter ID and there's 15% voter turnout. Clearly,
and
that's
citizens
the problem.
can't vote.
Right.
Non-citizens can't vote.
Apparently, that's what I hear.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So
except for when they do.
Except for when they do, which is very, very rare.
Okay. Can we?
My guess is that there's probably more ballot stuffing by registered voters than there are illegal.
Likely.
Yes.
Likely.
I would argue that.
Likely.
Were we all there?
Which is why I don't understand this push on the right to go for paper ballots.
Were we all there?
It pushes the 2020 election lie, Bob.
Were we all there?
Pushes the 2020 stolen election lie.
Were we all there? When the East Chicago primary election was thrown out between Pastrick and were we all there when the Pastrick-Pabay election was thrown out by a judge because of the rampant voter fraud that occurred in East Chicago?
That's a microcosm.
Why?
That's not the nation, Chuck. That's not the nation.
How do we know that?
That's a microcosm.
How can you prove that to me?
Chuck, how do I know you took a crap first thing this morning?
How do you know?
Right?
Were you
because
there?
It probably
You're not on
happened.
The group chat?
Yeah. No, not for that. Not for that.
So
she sent me a picture once I was done. It looked like Klinger sitting in a pool.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
We're on the radio.
So what? It doesn't matter around here. God, do you listen to your callers?
This is where Lynette's like, and speaking of which, we have callers.
Yeah, who do we have? Bring them on.
Let's take a quick break.
Oh, yeah, we probably should.
Let's do this. Let's take a break, and we'll take your calls with Larry the K, who's in rare form this morning.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
So let's take a break. We'll be back with more on WJOB.
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. And welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people is a smile.
Thank you.
Strag and Van Til, where making life easier starts with a smile.
Ogren Insurance, Hammond's oldest family-owned independent insurance agency, now in its third generation providing clients in the Chicago area with products from quality insurance companies to handle your every need. Regardless of driving history, Ogren Insurance can find the right coverage for you at competitive prices. To learn more about the insurance solutions and services we offer throughout Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan, call 219-933-0076 or visit our website, ogreninsurance.com. We're located at 6929 Homan Avenue in Hammond, Indiana. Do business locally with someone you know and trust.
When your home needs help, the last thing you need is a faceless corporation or sales-driven franchise. At Myers Companies, we've been proudly local since 1951, born and raised right here in Northwest Indiana. We're family-owned and operated, built on trust, hard work, and integrity. And because we're family, we treat you like family. Your comfort and safety always come first. For HVAC, plumbing, and electrical done right, choose Myers Companies. Local. Family-owned. Here for your family.
For a fast and friendly car wash, go to Easy Clean Car Wash. Open 7 days a week in 4 convenient locations: Highland, Griffith, Cherville, and Lansing. Free vacuuming, air freshener, and a towel with every wash. It's fast, safe, and gentle. For more information and hours of all our locations, visit myeasyclean.com. Also, see how you can wash your car daily with our $10 Ultimate Wash for only $19.99 per month. Give your car the best clean at Easy Clean Car Wash.
7:20 in the region. that
We're taking calls.
Are we?
Yeah,
I don't know.
with the graph.
Is that okay?
That's what we're supposed to
Just
do.
making sure. I thought this used to be my show. Just making sure.
No,
I'm
no.
sorry.
Okay.
God, you got like all the AI stuff going on here. I love this, man.
We're
I love
fancy.
it. No, this again from being in the old studio years ago, and now this is the third change I have seen that.
Right.
I've gotten to see. This is really nice.
We're
really
getting this
nice.
is all Bob's work.
All right, who's that
Let's take
first
some
caller,
calls.
madam?
So good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture out of yesterday's Chicago Sun-Times showing the More Free Stuff marchers, and I'm looking at 3 signs that are very visible. The first one says, "No king since 1776. The second sign says, "Money for people's needs, not the war machine." And at the bottom it says, "Party for Socialism and Liberation." And the third sign says, "Protest is patriotic." I was wondering, Larry the K, what was your sign? What did your sign say?
My sign was a riff.
any-
Are you going to shut up and listen? My
nice.
sign.
Be nice.
Sorry, you're going to be quiet and listen. It is early, please. My sign said, "Shut the F up, Donnie. You're out of your league." It was a nod to the Big Lebowski.
Wow.
This
That's
frightens
creative.
you? This frightens you? This bothers you, Walt?
Does it?
I'm asking you. You
No.
said, "Wow." Come on, play along
Well,
here,
meaning-
Walt. You call in, you read the paper every day. Come on, play along. Does it bother you?
No.
Okay, good. What's your next question?
You got $75 for the march in
Oh
Nile?
yeah. Actually, it was more because I had brown eyes.
But you didn't get
Yeah.
weekend pay though.
No, I didn't get
overtime?
any weekend pay.
Holiday
No
pay?
overtime. It was just an hour long. What else you got, Walt?
Do you think if you were a person of color,
I'm sorry?
you would have gotten more?
I'm sorry.
If you were a person of color, do you think you would have gotten more?
Walt, what do you think? Because you're the one who's asking the question about people of color. Tell me what you think about people of color getting more. Your
I have
question.
no
Go
idea.
ahead, because you totally know. You totally know that this is all content for the radio, and you call up to disrupt and stir things up. Are there any sales going on
Why
out
not?
by you right now at the locals grocery markets, Walt?
Are you a straight shooter too?
What is this kid? What is he, 10? This guy's 10 years old.
I'm just playing on the interwebs till you guys are done.
Yeah, go for it. Get out, dead air.
Who are you talking about, Larry the K?
I don't know, the guy behind the phone? Who am I talking about?
I've just about exhausted my commentaries.
Oh, good. Hang up then. Let other people call in.
Thank you for the call, Walt. We
Have a
appreciate
good day,
it.
sir.
We'll see you on Monday.
Happy
Thanks.
Easter.
There's always.
Oh yeah, how that Big Frank's bit going
Ding-
on.
Dingus
yeah,
Day.
Dingus
yeah,
Day.
I know. I think I'm going to show up.
You
We're
should
off
stop
that
by?
day.
Are you?
Yeah. Is it open to the public?
I believe so.
Okay, cool. What time?
6 a.m.
Oh,
Come on by.
oh, you're doing a live remote.
Doing a
for me?
live
That's
remote.
what I heard.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, do we have more calls?
Who's the next caller?
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Chuck. Good morning, Bob. I just wanted to call in and say good morning and also tell you, like, Chuck, and all respect to Amy. Sorry, Amy, I don't mean to disrespect you at all,
but I will.
Damn, dude, you look good in that gold crown as opposed to that chrome dome you're usually sporting.
Jeez.
And like that spring chucking thing, those 6 fingers. Damn, that's hot.
You got the 6 fingers?
No,
Do you know how long it took me to get AI to give him 6 fingers on there?
AI has already figured it out.
And I appreciate you figuring that out because,
That's cute.
yeah, I just thought I'd slip that in there, for those that are paying attention to the memes out there.
I love it.
Chuck, just saying, man, the crown makes me take a second look. I mean, I'm not disappointed. You're looking good.
Well, thank
It
you.
looks like you took a shower this morning.
I took a shower.
He
and
smells
shaved.
amazing.
Does it make you feel
Put on some
emotionally
aqua velvet?
fulfilled? Caller, does it make you feel emotionally fulfilled, emotionally erect?
I wouldn't say fully erect. No.
Okay,
Not hearing
not
a
fully
no.
emotionally erect.
I'm not
Okay.
hearing a no.
All right.
The re-
Looks like you got a busy day coming up, son.
Is Larry, you've shown some great disrespect to the callers of this
Yeah, I
radio
know,
station,
I
and
know.
I just wanted to point that out to you.
I know.
You know,
I'm sorry.
And frankly, you wanting to invite yourself to Big Frank's on Monday doesn't surprise me because it wouldn't surprise me to know that you've had your mouth full of Frank's sausage before. Just wanted to call in and just say.
So what are you saying
should
about
be more
Frank?
respectful to the callers of this radio station.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, I
You
interrupted you
have
because I'm rude.
got to
What?
be more. Yeah, of course you did. You're a rude. And you also dropped the GD word, by the way, which would have gotten you banned had Jed been around.
Okay. Well, Jed will call me. He's got my number. He can ban me if he wants.
Think
Go ahead.
You think you have like a monopoly on your credibility for protest, right?
Sure.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Sure.
Because you're a school, a teachers union member, you get told to go out to a protest when your overlords tell you to do that.
Yes,
That's
my.
really
Who
what
is
this
this
about.
idiot? Is this
Your
that Mon
teachers
Hanley guy?
union
Is this
actually
Mont?
threatened.
Is this that Mon Hanley guy?
You're actually.
Is this Mont?
Absolutely
Just
it is.
yes or
I
no.
have
This is Mont.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad I'm hearing
Yes,
your
it
idiocy
is.
live. Go for it.
Oh, is it idiocy? Okay, I see. So your teachers union is threatened by the fact that Donald Trump is actually changing the entire picture of your solidarity with the rest of liberalism and leftism. And you're threatened by that. Your teachers unions are threatened by that. So you want to call
Wait.
them,
Am I threatened by it or my
you know,
teachers
all the
union?
names
Which
in the
one is
book.
it, Mont? Mont, which one is it? You're using a broad
You're a
brush,
teachers
son.
union, Larry.
Which
You know
one,
that.
me
Everyone
or
else
the
knows you
union?
are, too.
Me or the union?
So you can't have a conversation, a civil conversation. You have to call me an idiot. You have to call all the callers, whatever you said earlier about us.
See, you don't even know
You're
because you
just
can't keep track of your own thoughts. Keep
disrespectful.
going. Keep going. You're sounding good,
Oh,
Mont. Keep
shut
going.
up, you ass.
You're gonna get an air. You're
You're
gonna
an
get an
ass,
award,
Larry.
Mont. Mont's gonna get an award.
What, for dropping another F-bomb because you deserve it.
Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh,
Larry-
Daddy, stop, Daddy, please,
Larry,
spank me some more.
You stop, man.
You big hairy
I'm
beast,
trying to have
you.
a civil conversation. Chuck,
There ain't nothing
I'm
civil
really
about
ashamed
your
that you brought
conversation.
this
You call in and put
clown
everybody
on the
down
radio.
you can because you wake up
Calling-
angry every day. Call WIND. They're into that kind of stuff.
Hey, Larry, you know what? You think that you're the only one who's got any kind of credibility when it comes to.
You just said that, Mont. You just said that. Try something new.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, try something new. I heard you the
Absolutely.
first
And
time. It
why
didn't
do you
catch.
think-
Try it
Why do you
again.
think no kings, huh? No kings rally, but it's perfectly okay to have murderous, theological, fascist dictators in charge of Iran or
Oh, like Charlie Kirk's followers.
murderous.
Go ahead.
Oh, I
Keep
see.
going.
This is You're just a disrespectful piece of human
Oh,
garbage.
well,
I
I tell you what, I haven't been to
Yeah,
the
you
Catholic
really
Church
are.
in a while, but I bet if you call the bishop, he'll call me up and take me into the rectory and set me straight.
I'm sure you've been on your knees
Go
a few
for it.
times.
Okay, okay,
Mont,
okay.
Mont,
Let's-
please, please.
Lynette, do you have
please,
the?
You're telling on yourself.
The bell, like ring the bell here. You got the bell like Rocky. Okay, Mont, I appreciate the call. It is 7:30.
So do I, Mont. Thanks for calling.
It's 7:30. Got another half hour of this. Another hour. How much time we got
But
today?
what's the other content today?
Well, this is what I want to talk about.
We're the only ones today.
Oh.
We're going to noon, folks. We're going to noon.
Anybody got anything going this morning? I got a 9 o'clock call.
Boy,
so
but I
go
bet
to-
you that chat board's full.
8:50.
What are you on another? Are they on another no call protest? But they're crowding the chat board with 150 viewers.
So let's go ahead and take a break. We'll be back with more, a lot more after this on WJOB.
From the gas in your car to the heat in your home and the roads that you drive on, our work powers daily life. We are USW Local 71, the proud men and women of the Whiting Refinery. We're not just refinery workers. We're your friends and neighbors, raising our families here, shopping in the same stores, and cheering in the same stands. USW Local 71, powering the region because we are the region.
It's gold rush time at Albert's. Oh, looky here! Oh, those are gonna fetch a pretty penny.
Who's gonna buy them from us?
I'll buy that gold from you.
What did you say?
I said I'll buy that gold from you, and I'll give you top dollar.
That sounds great.
It's gold rush time. We will see you at Albert's.
For over 140 years, the Central Midwest Carpenters have built our communities in Northwest Indiana. Are you ready to join the effort? We have long-term work, competitive pay, and the best benefits in the industry. We pride ourselves on innovative training and commitment to worksite safety. Earn as you learn as an apprentice. A solid career built on a solid legacy. For more info, go to carpenters.com.
Are you searching for a college where you belong? Calumet College of St. Joseph wants to know you and give you the support you need to succeed. Are you worried about how you'll pay for your degree? 95% of our students receive financial aid, including scholarships and grants. Need some extra help with your classes? You'll benefit from our small class sizes, free tutoring, internship planning, faculty mentors, and so much more. Come experience our accepting, supportive college family for yourself. Schedule your campus visit and apply at ccsj.edu.
Maybe
Hang on.
$40 for 150 of them.
Yeah, we're on the radio now.
Okay, you know, I was
never know.
It is WJOB 1230 AM
That's my job.
104.7. Sorry, Chuck.
But
I
it's
was going
bottom
to
of the
give
hour.
you traffic.
That's fine. Okay, go ahead. Send it to me.
I'm usurping the show.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Hit that traffic. How is it there, Chuck?
It's fine. There's no traffic. It's fantastic. So 8094, 65, Skyway Toll Road, everything looking good. On the Illinois side, little slowdown, Bishop Ford, Dan Ryan on in. Nothing else to report in
back to you, buddy.
Traffic. But if you see anything, 219-845-1100. And Lynette with the weather.
Good morning, everyone. Today we're at 54 degrees.
Finally got her.
With highs of 76 and lows of 64. It's going to be warmer with sun followed by increasing clouds and then breezy this afternoon. And then tomorrow on Tuesday, we'll be having highs of 73 and lows of 36. It'll be cloudy, windy, and very warm with a couple of heavy thunderstorms in the afternoon. And then Wednesday, we'll be having highs of 45 and lows of 40. It's going to be mostly cloudy, breezy, and cooler with little rain in the afternoon.
As I mentioned,
That was fantastic. I've been trying to break
earlier.
her for months.
Hear the rain on the rooftop.
As I mentioned earlier, if we still have a show next Monday, we will be doing a live remote Dingus Day from Big Frank Sausage. Feel free to stop in, try some Big Frank Sausage. Go ahead. Anybody want to?
Oh yeah, I think that might be a thing.
Okay.
He's going to do what's the fare? What is the menu?
Polish.
Breakfast food,
Does
or
he
the
have, maybe you could call him. Does
Is
he
it
have a
Polish?
special
Yes.
fare for Dingus Day,
Maybe
or
we
is
could
it
do
just
a
his?
Dingus Day breakfast buffet. I don't know.
He's going to have like some of the Polish picking bread out there.
That would be a good idea.
You know what I'm talking about? The picking bread.
I will
the piggy
message him
bread,
about
yeah? All
that
right.
because I don't know that he does the Sunday buffet, but I don't know.
He's
what
still
he does.
doing that?
I think he's still doing
Oh,
that.
I gotta
but I don't know what he's doing for like breakfast fare. It's a
Right.
good point.
He does make a mean scrambled egg, though. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. You know, back to those headphones. You know what you ought to do? You know, for just the passers through, get them branded. See how much it costs to get a WJLB silk screen on them, and they got something nice they could take home.
A little parting gift.
A parting gift from WJLB.
See, I went. I bought everyone. I bought not everyone because some of the hosts are going to say, "Where's mine?"
Right.
The nice in-ears.
Yeah. Oh, those are nice, man.
Yeah.
Those are nice. I would like to get a pair of those myself. I think I prefer the wired ones over the Bluetooth. I don't know what that is. Yeah. Although my phone won't accept it, I don't think. What a shame. All right, go ahead, Chuck. What else you got?
I don't know.
Show's over at 9, son.
I was listening to a flashback over the weekend.
Oh.
Let's talk. It was of you.
It was
you.
What was it? Me and George, or just?
It was just you in the afternoon, and it was the day that Mike Repay allowed the local option income tax to go through.
Yes, you know that was a very interesting day.
And that was 2013. That was actually my first day on the radio that afternoon with Harlow. So you did the afternoon show.
Really?
And I was so outraged at another local tax that I came onto the radio with Harlow. Invited myself on.
Yes.
And I've been
just
here
like I'm inviting myself to Big Frank's.
And I've been here ever since. But it reminded me of that question about accountability because, you know, we talk about the president's accountability, but that's another example of where a local politician came to people, shook their hand, said, I'm against the tax. For some reason, got a late night phone call the night before the vote, allowed the tax to go through, and there was no accountability. He's still around to this day. He's the commissioner now. So that becomes that sort of idea is that regardless of, we're not even talking about president or even Washington, we're talking about even on the local level, is that people have come to accept the fact that people are going to shake their hand, lie to them, and there will be no accountability for their actions. So why should we expect anything different anywhere up or down the chain?
Let's rehash that whole Lake County option income tax.
And I'm going somewhere with it because tomorrow...
And I'm going to let him go somewhere with it.
Well, I'm just saying, we're going somewhere with it because tomorrow is the big day. The day is finally here. The train, only a year or so behind schedule, is
train only goes so far.
Finally going to leave the station with the governor in tow. We'll talk about all that later. So and the reason why we have this boondoggle train is because of the local option income tax, which there was
connection.
No. And so go ahead. You start off.
No,
at the
please
beginning.
finish your thought.
So that goes to the point about. We've been on here long enough where you can see the beginning, the middle, and the end. And so now we're at that point where we allowed Mike Repay, allowed the local option income tax to go through, which created a new pool of money, which created the CEDIT money, the local economic development money, which is where Pete went. And he said, okay, now that there's a new pool of money, now I can go I can go take some of that pool of money and I can create this train, my legacy. And then I can go right off in the sunset. And now here we are, $1 billion later, and we have that train because of the local option income tax. Gentlemen,
success.
Doctor.
Good job,
Doctor. And that started that afternoon on WJLB with you.
Started
you
that morning.
Started that morning. Go ahead.
So that was a particularly busy day here.
What was the weather like?
It's fantastic. It was May. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was spring.
A nice cool breeze.
It was. Cow out in the pasture by the tower. I remember I was producing Jim that morning, and Mayor McDermott was his guest, so it had to have been a Friday.
No, it was. It was like a Tuesday or a Thursday.
Okay, that's right. He came in.
It was a Tuesday morning because the meeting, right? The meeting
and
on Tuesday.
It was then revealed, is what was going to happen. Some things were said between Mayor McDermott and Councilman Christine Sid. I remember Christine Sid calling into the show to rebut everything that was coming out of the mayor's mouth. And then later that day, well, of course, everybody's calling in and speaking about it for sure. What I understood from Commissioner Repay was the following. the state of Indiana was pushing for each county to have that option income tax.
Right.
Now, and stop me if I'm
No,
wrong here, if
go
my
ahead.
memory's wrong. And Lake County, along with maybe 5 other counties, I want to say a handful, were in the same boat as being the last counties to have enacted an option income tax. And the way I understood it, there was some pressure from downstate that if you don't do it, at whatever we are going to do it. I asked Commissioner Repay why he abstained from the vote. Let's remember that this was passed because he abstained. He didn't vote for nor against. And we know that abstention could allow the same things to happen. We understand that. But that is how it was presented to me. If it is not done now, it will be done. And of course, you want to take in, let's talk about the parties. Okay, yes, it's a Lake County heavily Democrat. We know about the history of corruption, all that stuff. So that's just fodder for, Repay's corrupt. Mike Repay and all the other little things that they were throwing at his way. And I'm sure that still continues 13 years later, because why not? It is Lake County. What else do we have to talk about? Is it the thing that we should have done at that time? I don't know. I mean, we could only speculate. Is it maybe a good thing? Now, you talk long run. It's been 13 years. Maybe we should wait 20. I don't know. Is it a good thing that it was done when it was done? Don't know. And then who do we blame? Do we blame the pressure from the? Do we blame the pressure from the supermajority Republican government, which we had at the time, that wanted this county option income tax for its counties? Look where we are now. I mean, it kind of follows. Look where we are now as far as funding for schools in the state. Referenda has to be enacted before anything else happens from the state. Maybe that was part of the grand plan, if you want to be conspiratorial about it. I don't know. How did I sound on the radio when you heard me, though?
You sounded fantastic.
Thank you.
You sounded well read on the on the situation.
Thank you.
So this was always my argument that day was we are the only county in Indiana that at the time had 4 casinos, right?
Yes.
So how is it that we get stuck with both casinos and a local option income tax? Right? So what is the benefit to this county for having these casinos?
Are there casinos in other counties in Indiana?
There are, but no other county.
Do those counties have option income tax?
Of course, they all do.
Okay.
And so that becomes the question is, why do we have both 4 casinos and a local option income tax? Why is it? So when you look at a place like Las Vegas, you go to places that have casinos and they don't have a local option income tax because the casino revenue covers that. So we have, the added...
Did we follow the Nevada gaming model, though? When we brought
why
in
didn't
those
we?
Chuck, I don't know. I'm asking you.
I was 10, so I don't know.
Well,
why.
yes, I understand.
So I'm saying,
that,
why didn't we? So that becomes the question: is we can agree that having casinos it can be a detriment on your society. We talk about where does that money come from? Well, it comes from little old ladies and people putting their mortgage checks into the slot. Some that money comes from
I've never
somewhere.
bought that though, because I mean, and the reason I don't buy that is then why do we have bars? I would say that more people go blow money at the bar than they do the casino.
But again,
I put in a couple work shifts at a bar,
and
spent about as much as I was bringing home before I walked in the bar. Yes.
So you also have limitations on bars like in Dyer. So why do you have liquor? Why don't we just let everybody in Dyer serve alcohol then? What would happen to a place if you had no restrictions?
That's kind of a state thing.
But my point is, if you say that we can have, again, I'm cool with it. We should be smoking and drinking in every establishment because that's our right. But my point is that whenever you do something, there's an opportunity cost there. There is a cost to having more people at more bars. There is a cost to having more casinos and having more people locally gambling.
Yeah, so this is a college-level economics class.
No,
Beginners.
I'm asking the question.
So what's the question?
So that's my point, is that from the beginning, the question was, why did we get stuck with both a local option income tax and 4 casinos?
Well, Chuck, again, is there some, as I said earlier, is there some great conspiratorial reason here to satisfy you? I don't know.
He can't be satisfied.
Well, that's what he sings on the corner every night. I don't think there was much of a connection as far as that was concerned. It's the option income tax. You said the casinos were already here, but if the government's telling you have to do that,
then why didn't he fight them? Why didn't he say that's fine, bring it on? Bring it on. I'm good. Why don't we have a politician anywhere, Democrat or Republican, that says that's fine, bring it on? I mean, again, like that, I would have much more respect for him if he said, here's the deal, guys. They want us to have a local option income tax. I told you I was going to vote against it. I'm voting against it, and I will fight it the whole way. That's not what he did. He caved, right?
I
Just
agree.
Like every politician caves,
I agree.
and then there's no accountability.
I agree. I'm not
so that's
defending
my point,
the man
is that
here.
we have accepted as tax-paying voters in this country, we have accepted that we are going to be lied. People are going to shake our hands, lie to our face, and then we're going to keep voting for them. That's my point, is that there's no accountability. So when you ask, why does Trump get away with it? Because that's what the average voter expects. The average voter expects that somebody's going to look him in the eye, shake his hand, say no new taxes, allow the tax to go through, and say, well, he lied to me. On to the next.
No
guy.
foreign wars.
No foreign wars. I'm going to be the most peaceful president in history. Oh, and there's wars.
Here's distraction
where's
number
my tariff
46.
check?
Please, you talk about Soros giving me that measly $75. I want that $2,000 tariff check.
No new
Dude.
wars. 2 weeks.
Dude.
2 weeks to flatten the curve. I mean, et cetera, et cetera. I think
Dude.
we have calls, Lynette. Why don't we take some calls? Because I'm sure they're anxiously waiting to talk to Larry.
Unless they're boycotting.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Chuck.
How are you?
Oh, I know
Hello?
this lady. How are you?
Oh, Larry, I wanted to remind you because
Jackie,
you knew
right?
You wondered if it was Mont.
No, who is this?
You know,
what was your
when
name?
we
I
called,
forgot
you
you.
said, "Is it Mont?" I will identify myself. We'll go to the flashback like Chuck kind of did. Way back, MX had a Christmas party at Freddy's.
Yeah, I was there. I admit it all. Yeah, that's already been
I see
taken
you're
care of.
talking
Statute
today,
of limitations
but
expired.
You went
Yeah.
up to the Trump cutout, remember?
Yeah.
And you went to swing at him and you missed, but you fell down. And everybody sat there looking at you, except who? Me. I came and I couldn't lift you because I'm kind of small in stature here, but I brought you a chair.
This
And
is
I
your
gave
life.
you a
Yes,
chair.
yes, here it
Your
is.
lovely
Yeah.
wife,
Uh-huh.
girlfriend, or whatever. So you do remember me. Okay.
Yeah, you used to call
You
the
remember
radio
the
station. We
incident,
used to
huh?
drink. We used to drink at Freddy's. I remember you.
Yes.
Okay, so why are you talking to me like you're my mother? What are you doing? What's going on?
Well, I noticed you're quite cocky today.
Today?
Maybe tune
Today?
it down just a little
Uh-huh.
bit.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
It's always good to have a debate back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, my kind of thing with this No King's Day and all this is we have an election in this country.
Mhm.
There you go. There's your No King's Day. That's when you all should be turning out. That is the method we have.
And that's all.
There
That's
are no
also
kings. That's why
term
we have
limit
an
day.
Election.
Yeah, term limit day.
Pardon?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I agree.
love term limits.
I agree. No, I agree with you. You're right. Election
Thank
day is
you.
where every American
There's no
can.
reason to go stand out on corners, and you know. some
But
of
isn't
these
that
things
okay?
get
Hold on,
violent in
hold on, hold on.
certain cities.
There's no
I'm glad
reason
it was
for
not
you.
violent here. Pardon?
I said there's no reason for you to stand out on a corner,
No,
right?
thank you.
Okay. Well, what about anybody else that wants to go
You know,
stand out on
I
a corner?
have for like NAFTA and GATT when they were I'm going in the Wayback Machine here. I've been on the corner for these bad trade deals, trying to protect jobs
Uh huh.
and things like that. But I've been on corners.
Oh, okay, good.
Well, that's all I really wanted to mention. And everyone have a blessed day and a blessed Easter.
You too.
Thank you for the call.
You too. Chuck, do you ever stand on the corner?
Not much anymore.
No. You
I
got a
used
steady
to.
job. You don't have to do that.
Right.
Yep. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
No,
Oh, are there other callers, Lynette?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, God. Look at that. She's like, yeah.
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 I
Okay.
can see a reflection. It's all red.
Go ahead. Let's take a call. Good morning, caller.
Hey, it's Mad Max, Larry. How you doing, bro?
Don't talk to me like you're my friend. What?
I'm not your friend. I'm just
Good.
being polite because it's a
look,
radio show.
look, a change
Larry.
for 5 minutes in Mad Max behavior. Go ahead. Tell me all
You
about
might
how it's a
wanna-
radio
yeah.
show. Go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
That a boy. Hey, so this is two serious questions. The first is, what do you think of Haley Williams and the band Paramore? Because I know you're into music.
I
Like him, not like him?
Not familiar with him. Sorry.
Okay. Now let me ask you this question here, and I'll follow up. You're
Thanks.
sitting at home and you want to vote in the election, and you go, I don't want to. I'm going to be out of town or something or whatever it is. I'm going to get a mail-in ballot. Mail-in ballot comes. It's presidential election. You got president. You probably got governor, lieutenant governor, maybe a couple state reps. National senators, whatever.
Some guy
Bunch
named
of
Zeke
local
Kyle.
stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Larry, can you just try to be polite?
I am.
So now
I'm agreeing with you. I know what a ballot looks like, you ding dong. Go ahead.
And you're filling out the ballot. And does the average person, do you think, they probably go through most of the ballot and vote for most of the offices, right? Is that what you think would happen?
Dude, you're the one who called. You're telling the story. It's your second time calling here. Just keep going. I'm listening, doing what you want, Daddy. Go ahead.
That's the question. Do you think that's what most people do? They look at it and then they make a whole bunch of different selections. You think that's what happens or no?
I don't know. I don't know what happens when somebody is doing something as personal as filling out their voting ballot, Mike. Because when you're in the booth, when you're at home... All right, shut up. Now I'm answering you, okay? So when you're, at home in your easy chair, go ahead, go again. You can call WIND too. They're into that sort of stuff. Now, you could sit home in the privacy of your chair, the privacy of the voting booth, and it's just you and your magic finger and what you're going to press, right? So I really don't know what the average person does. Are you asking me, do they just, do they differentiate the voter at the general election between Democrat and Republican? I don't know. I could say for myself at one time I did that, but only at the local level.
Okay, I'm trying to help you out here again.
Please help me out,
It's
Michael.
a
You have it
ballot
so
you
together
get
in your
the
life.
mail
Help
at
me.
Home. It's a mail-in ballot.
Yeah, I got
so
that.
you
I heard
got
you.
the ballot at home. Absentee.
Yes.
When you fill it out, do you think you probably fill out like a lot of it, most of it, none of it? What do you
Didn't
think?
I just answer your
What do you
question
think the
about what I
average
do
voter
and
does?
what I've did? Are you deaf? Don't
Oh,
you hear
my
anything
God.
except the own angry voice in your head, Michael? You wake up angry. You know this. You know this.
Here's why I'm asking, Larry.
Oh, please.
Because you talk about voter integrity and what happened in elections.
Yeah, I
Somehow,
brought up the 2020
2020
election. Yes, so tell me exactly what happened, and let's debunk it for what, a 68th time? Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me all about it, Michael. I was there too.
You have to stop talking, Larry. So here's what happened. In the state of Wisconsin and Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
they had 70,000 ballots total. Only had one vote on it for president for Joe Biden, and not a single other office was filled out to elect anybody, to vote for anybody on either side. Only one circle colored in for Joe Biden. Do you think that's realistic?
I'd have to see that new story you're quoting, Michael.
70,000 people would fill out a ballot, an absentee ballot, and only fill in the box for president.
Well, Mike, you have your hand on the bosom of America. I mean, what do you think about? Do you think that's possible? I mean, you're the one who's read the story.
Impossible.
It is.
Impossible.
Okay. All right. So
I
it's
think
impossible.
It's totally impossible.
Without something to read further,
Which
I mean,
why-
I'm going
which
by
why
your
I
word.
think there was a problem with the 2020 election.
Okay. Good for you.
Okay. Well, that was the question, Larry. I'm sorry you struggled with it so much.
Okay, we appreciate the call. We do have to take a quick break here in a moment.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Okay, so now you make jokes about the Republicans and not accepting, but can we agree that both sides? I was reading something the other day that was explaining how Elon Musk and Starlink stole the last election.
Yeah,
and any number of other
I've read
things.
that stuff too.
I think the Italians stole the election with Starlink, and any number of other
wasn't it
things.
Jewish space lasers, then
No, they're-
Italian satellites?
I
And
know,
then,
right? I didn't know the Italians had satellites, but we stole the election with specifically to steal
Yeah,
the election
China's in there somewhere.
for Trump for some reason.
Right.
But again, so this idea that both sides have this this idea that they don't accept the results, right? I mean, he's still talking about Biden winning the election. There's people telling me how.
Wait, both sides. Who else?
I'm telling
What do
you
you mean?
that.
There's only one side complaining about 2020, Chuck.
No, okay, but I'm saying that there are people that continue to tell me today that
Russia collusion.
The Russia collusion and the
yes,
Italian the satellite stole the election for Trump. So both sides question the integrity of the elections in this country, right? I'm not saying everybody, I'm saying that there are fringes on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And you could talk about Mike Lindell and whatever, and that's fine.
No, that's okay.
But I'm saying
pillow.
Well, I'll tell you what. Talk about bucket lists for him over the weekend. Getting served while on air on your own TV station. That is a moment right there.
Did you see that?
Did you see that? Wasn't
good.
that? I giggled my butt off.
So
go ahead, Chuck.
Who is getting served on the other side for saying that the Italian satellites and Elon Musk stole the election for Trump, right? I mean, that becomes so why?
But wait, the Italian satellites thing was kind of a GOP bit. The Musk bit was more of the Democrat.
Well, and that's
is that
what I'm saying. Okay, I'm
me?
asking you is that so. Both sides are claiming
and
that
then
elections
24.
are
You're
stolen.
talking about 20 and then 24.
I don't even know
You're talking
anymore.
about two
I mean,
different elections.
Everybody stole every election.
Oh, I think
right?
you know, Chuck.
I'm asking.
Yeah.
Is that there's no way Trump won. It had to be the Italian satellites that stole the election for Trump, the Russian collusion and all. So we have many people that question the integrity of the elections in this country. Yet
And they always will.
But-
Hillary
but-
won, Trump won.
Or the famous, Rudy Clay, may he rest in peace, and Mayor McDermott. There is
Wait,
no.
he's dead too? Wait, what do you mean?
Stop. There is no hanky panky and Gary.
Oh, please. Yeah.
I
See,
mean,
come on, man. Come on.
So this is something that we've been dealing with here in the region forever. I mentioned the Patrick Pabay election that was thrown out.
Yeah.
So this idea that we just like election integrity is a new issue that we just now are starting to care about. This is something that's always been, and the question is, why are we not doing more in a bipartisan fashion to say let's tighten up the let's make it so that somebody can't claim.
Don't
that
you mean
some
tripartisan,
lady-
Chuck?
Well,
Shouldn't we let the libertarians in?
no, I have no. I'm no.
No, you don't want. You don't want your
I'm-
boy Rand Paul. Is he still a libertarian, or is
No,
did he
that was
declare? He declared.
his father.
He likes to win.
He's a
That's
Republican.
yeah. Well, there it is.
So, should we not have a system where you can't even accuse somebody of pulling out a bin at 2 a.m. and all these sorts of things? Should there be an
Well,
election?
you could accuse all you want.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that should we have ways to ensure that that can't happen? And it seems like neither side
Okay.
wants that to happen if it benefits them.
Okay.
And that's the question.
So let's say we go with what's in the SAVE Act, from what I've read and understood. And Amy, I'm assuming your lovely wife, does she use her maiden name in official correspondence?
I have no idea what she does.
Driver's license?
And she's a
But
very
if she's already
smart
registered,
woman.
the SAVE Act won't impact her.
So, okay,
It's
so
when she finally.
But here's the thing,
Dump
Larry,
this guy.
and
All right.
I've asked this question for years on these airwaves. I've asked this question at debates and all sorts of things. Have you ever met anybody? We talk about the SAVE Act. We talk about voter ID laws in Indiana. Have you ever met anybody that says, I just can't figure out how to get an ID, or I don't have the paperwork to get an ID and I can't vote? Have you ever met anybody in person?
Yes.
Have you helped them get an ID?
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you,
one person.
There you
yeah,
go. And
yeah.
I've said from the beginning, I said, if you are out there and you can't get an ID to vote, call us. I will buy you lunch and buy your ID. And
you're going a little far now.
No, I will buy the lunch.
Now,
and I
Chuck
will take
Soros,
them.
now listen.
Yes.
Now listen.
But you find me that
when you
person.
start buying those non-voters things, they're going to vote Democrat. Don't do that. Next thing I know, you're going to rent a school bus and take them all to the polling place.
I'm going to get the
Town of Munster.
Partridge family school bus and take them all to get their voter IDs. Yes, if you know so. But that's my point as we talk about this. All these people that can't get their ID. I've never met
There's
anybody.
always
that
there's always
there
an
is-
undertone with that too. Like, not only can they not get their ID, they're not smart enough to get.
They don't have the internet. They don't have the internet.
Yeah,
that's the
it's,
problem.
Not smart enough.
That's what
Not lightly melanated enough.
I have zero problem with the SAVE Act.
They have a
you
vagina.
can find your paperwork.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's when they say, 85 million women won't be able to vote, it has nothing to do with folks who are already registered. Nothing to do.
I did ask the lieutenant governor when he was on these airwaves, will you prevent millions of married Hoosiers from voting? He said, I have no intention, nor does the governor, of preventing. He went on record for what it's worth. He went on record and said, we have no intention of preventing married women from being able to vote.
What's his handicap these days?
Just so you know, Lynette,
maybe I'll have
him
him on next time.
Yeah, sorry, Lynette.
So it is 8 o'clock in the region.
Woo-wee. We're going till 11, baby.
We're going we're going to like 8:50. So
all right,
you've got a few more minutes to call into Larry because he'd love to hear
Chuck,
from you.
or Bob. Bob's here too.
And
you wouldn't know it.
We'll be back.
I
with
apologize, Bob.
More here on AM 1230, 104.7 FM in beautiful Hammond, Indiana.
Rustic.
Woo-wee, bright spot.
The bright spot.
Planting a tree, installing a fence, whether your project is big or small, NIPCO reminds you to know what's below and contact 811 at least 2 full business days before doing any digging so that utility companies can mark the location of their underground lines. Contacting 811 is free and it's the law. Avoid possible penalties, costly repairs, or injuries. DIY or a pro, safety is in your hands. Every dig, every time.
If you're thinking of finishing your basement, installing outdoor security cameras, or your business has plans to break ground on a new project in 2024, Powering Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's best electricians. With IBEW, Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today and ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals.
Before Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, we were being charged various maintenance fees and various check writing fees for all of our accounts. And with Notre Dame, we don't have that. We have that true community partnership. We get interest based on all of our parish and school accounts, and the interest rate is really second to none.
Have you ever considered becoming an iron worker? Local 395 is now accepting applications for their apprenticeship program. Go to ironworkers395.com. Look under the training section, click on apprenticeship, and scroll down to the application. You must be 18 years old, have a high school diploma or GED, and you must be physically able to perform the work of the trade. Find out more by calling the apprenticeship school in Lake Station at 219-962-7675 or visit ironworkers395.com.
Fishing for a seafood meal without the stress or mess of cooking? Leave the work to the Strachan Van Til Seafood Department. For just $1 extra per pound, we'll fry, grill, or steam your fish with your choice of 3 kinds of breading. Try our fish and seafood dinners. Each includes a half pound each of seafood and fries, and a quarter pound of coleslaw. Want the freshest catch in town? Reel in the fish and seafood selections from your local Strachan Van Til.
It's 8:02 here in the region.
WJOB.
1230
AM.
104.7 FM.
Voice of the region.
Rustic, Hammond,
The
Indiana.
bright spot.
Bright spot on your dial.
The bright spot on the dial.
The skid mark on your
The
envelope.
voice
and sorry.
The voice and vase of the region.
The voice and vase. Oi.
Let's take a quick look at traffic. Traffic in Indiana looking surprisingly light this morning. Nothing to report. 8094, I-65, Skyway toll, all looking great. Bishop Ford into the Dan Ryan. Little slowdown at the merge. Little
What
slowdown.
about that blue car right there? What's that?
He's doing fine.
Okay.
He was in the lake. He
All right.
took a wrong turn.
Illinois drivers.
Took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. He's in the lake.
Quite a wrong turn. Yeah, right.
So Bishop Ford to Dan Ryan. Little slowdown, Dan Ryan on in. Other than that, on the Illinois side, things looking good. How are things in weather?
Good morning, everyone. Today we're at 50 degrees with highs of 76 and lows of 64. It's going to be warmer with sun followed by increasing clouds, then breezy this afternoon. And then tomorrow and Tuesday we'll be having highs of 73 and lows of 36. Should be cloudy, windy, and very warm with a couple of heavy thunderstorms in the afternoon. And then Wednesday we'll be having highs of 45 and lows of 40. It's going to be mostly cloudy, breezy, and cooler with little rain in the afternoon.
She was smiling there for a second, and I think we just witnessed the moment where this became her favorite radio show over T-Dabs. I think it is, right? No? Dabberton.
Maybe what if we got Tom on a Monday? What would happen? Like a crossover episode. What if we just surprised her?
Has he ever said anything that I call him T-Dabs?
No, I don't think he even knows.
Maybe he'll come on Monday, and he'll come, and you guys can argue it out. He'll just show up. I'll invite him. Larry is obsessed. Larry was.
I just want to see what You got to look. You remember the old chat?
Larry
board?
was
Yeah.
here when we used to have this wide open chat. Somebody thought,
It's still a wide open chat.
Somebody thought we would just leave the chat room. It was funny though, Larry, because we used to just leave it open 24/7.
Yeah.
You would go to WJOB's website like at 2 a.m, and there'd be like 3 people arguing about something.
Exactly.
We just had it open.
Walt would be reading the paper.
In the chat room.
Mad Mac typing all in caps. It was great. And let's not forget Coach East and Donnie and all those guys. Yeah, they wake up like 2, 3 in the morning. Chat something. It's crazy.
I was talking last week. It's nice. I mean, I know you get to take the credit for this. I was listening to there was a flashback of the preacher and Big George, may they rest in peace, talking about Lake County corruption. They were talking about the sheriff on trial and the machine gun scandal. And
yes,
the mayor
that was one of my
this.
favorite bits that I copied over.
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, for sure. It was very. That was the first day Jim played that. Was about 2 days, a little soon after I uploaded it, to Jim's Dropbox or whatever the hell that is. And, it was kind of nice hearing those two on the radio.
Yeah.
I actually pulled over and texted Jim. I said, hey, man, nice turnaround. Thank you. It was nice to hear him.
I also, back in the day, you and Big George did a show called the Boys in the Back Room.
Yeah,
the Boys in the Back Room, right?
The Boys in the Back Room with Big George and Larry the K. Yeah,
right. That was a fun show.
Yep. Not to be confused with the Back Door.
Don't start.
Yeah.
And I'm also working on.
I forgot who that host was.
I was talking to Libby Collins recently. We're trying to get some flashbacks from Warren and Libby from back in the really old days.
Right.
So we'd love to hear.
IU has Millie Pilot's.
Yeah.
Legendary WJOB reporter Millie Pilot's notes and archives.
I would love to just start.
I would love to go through that and see what can be salvaged for Jim's bid here that he wants to do.
But my point is that all of these flashbacks have that same sort of that same string through them.
The je ne sais quoi.
Talking about public corruption, talking about corrupt politicians and
Lake County,
people lying to us. So again, the accountability factor, the big A, comes back in.
Right.
Because we where were the No Kings protests back then?
Okay, so you asked this prior to 7 o'clock.
I'm asking again,
and
where
I'm here to
were
tell
the
you,
protests
the
back
Tea
then?
Party.
Okay.
The Tea Party.
So why is it that only one side protests the other side? Why is it that we always say, well, I mean, again,
because the other side's okay with it?
Right. So that's what I'm asking is, again, I'll ask this.
I mean,
do you think that there are a lot of Trump supporters that have sort of buyer's remorse right now?
All right.
Go ahead.
Now, that's a good question.
Thank you.
That's a good question. I like that one. Are there Trump voters
and
that have some
where were they
buyer's
this
remorse?
weekend? Where were they to say, I was lied to and I regret my vote, if that's the case?
You're not Donald Trump, so you can't identify people's, states of mind and so on just by looking at them. So how do you know? How do you know that while I was standing there on Niles, for instance, I wasn't standing next to a Republican? I didn't ask.
Right.
Would I say that there are some? Yeah, I think there are some on for any president. Of course, there's some buyer's remorse. Of course. Did they come out and say it? No, not necessarily. Did I ask? No. Can we safely assume that there were some? I like to look at things. Is it possible? Is it likely?
Right.
Follow me here. Is it likely? Yes. Is it possible? Yes. So those two things, to me, at least in my mind, say, yeah, likely and possible that there were some disgruntled Trump voters out there protesting for their own reasons. The one thing I hear a bit, I read about disgruntled Trump voters, not that I have anybody in my life that has come out and said, boy, I'm really sorry I voted for Trump. That hasn't happened. But has been the current actions in Iran. They voted, those people voted for no new wars.
Well, and I would say to not be someone who I certainly didn't regret voting for Trump, but I can see where people, me being one of them, have been disappointed with Trump 2 over Trump 1. So I don't say that I would never have voted for Kamala. I think just a complete and total train wreck and disaster of a, talk about...
Could have been.
Dodging a bullet there. But with the... let me take a step back. There's a fairly well-sized contingent of Trump voters who say, look, Trump will say what he's going to say, but we don't even believe him. We just like that he's out there and being Trumpian about it.
Okay.
And so and I think some of that is backpedaling. When he said no new wars, he didn't really mean no new wars. He just meant that, he wasn't going to
or my
do
favorite
something
one
else.
that I've heard. We've been at war with them for 47 years. Blah, blah, blah.
Right. And so, but I
53.
can say, if anything, there's probably disappointment in, Chuck's always, why now is this thing. And I would say, to some of these that say, well, why are we going into Iran? Why don't these guys go fight their own wars? Well, remember, we needed the French, the one time we needed the French. I'll give them that. But
let's not denigrate the French now. There were many underground patriots that fought for their freedom in World War II. Just because Vichy, just because he had just because Pétain was a collaborator now.
My point being is, I think there's probably more people who are disappointed in the way things are going.
Yes,
more so than they are
right.
Regretful of a vote for Trump. I'd vote for Trump again, but knowing that he's at some point when you only have two sides to pick from.
Mm-hmm.
Oatmeal's better than no meal, so you have to go along with the guy that you're probably going to agree with 70-80% of the time, as opposed to 10 or 20% of the time. And I think that's where that group of Trump voters like, do we really need to be in another war? I mean, you were supposed to bring peace everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
What
the board of
with
peace?
that?
Where's my Nobel?
At least he didn't wear a Nobel Prize while he blew up a wedding party in Yemen. So
that's where I don't know why he wants a
Obama
Nobel.
was wearing that.
I believe in my mind he was wearing that Nobel Peace Prize.
Was Obama wearing a campaign hat of the dignified transfer?
I'm sure.
Or was it the tan suit?
No, he wore a tan
that?
suit. He wouldn't wear a
That's right.
tie.
That's right.
Remember when that was the
Yes.
biggest crisis? Was the
Yes.
president not wearing a
Yes.
tie in the White
That's
House?
right.
So, why don't we take a call?
Please.
Let's take a call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning. How
Good morning,
you guys
sir.
doing?
How are you?
Hello.
I started watching the show at 6 o'clock, and I was enjoying the Laurel and Hardy show, and I thought, okay, I heard this Larry guy's coming in, and I thought, okay, I got to get stuff done because I'm going to start doing stuff. And this Larry can come on, and I got things to do, but I thought, man, this is getting really interesting. But what amazed me about Larry coming in is he must have been standing on that new platform for the train extension. The train was running late. The mayor was at the other end where he had to jump off to get on to the next train to go to Chicago. So him and the mayor hurried up and ran over to Wampum, and he's all wired up. Unbelievable. I mean, I got something I need to do, but now I'm watching the Three Stooges, and
Riveting
I love
radio, right?
watching
Yeah.
the Three Stooges.
Just wait till the 8:30 hour.
Thank you.
We've got cream pies coming in at the 8:30 hour.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
Mike. Don't worry.
But Larry, after the show's over, because I know
Here it
you and the
comes.
mayor must have had a good time at Wampum.
Yes.
So after that,
I
go
like
to the
this
Big
fairy
Frank's.
tale. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you got the munchies, go over to Big Frank's. They got a lot of food you can munch on, But now I'm going to let you go in a second because I'm going to get you fired up more. But I know why you're sitting. When I look at the TV, you're on the left, they're on the right. I know why they didn't put you in the middle because I've been watching Chuck and Bob. Your head would have been going back and forth, left and right with how you're talking and how you're doing such good. I mean, I got things I need to do, but I can't get out of my chair because I'm enjoying this part of the show. But the thing is I'm going to get you fired up, let somebody else call in and finish your show, and I really enjoy you on this show this morning, Larry. To me, this has been the best show of the whole month.
Wow.
I mean,
better than Wednesday.
Better than Wednesday.
Yeah,
with one day left to go.
I don't say
Save
which
the best
shows,
for
which
last.
days, but now I'm going to fire you up, Larry, because
All
I'm
right.
going to let you go and listen to the other thing. But I don't see you wearing a Green Bay Packers shirt on. But now, are you going to wear a Colts or a Bears when the Bears come to Chicago? I mean, leave Chicago and come to Indiana. What do you think about that Bears deal with the state of Indiana.
So what's your
Pittsburgh
question? My
government.
choice of jersey wear or what I think about it?
I want to hear what you have to think
I'm going to
about
let
it.
you go, and I want to hear you get wired up on what's going to happen with trying to get the Bears to come to Indiana. I'm going to let you go, and everybody out there have a wonderful and nice day. Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Trucker
Thank
Mike.
you,
Let me set that up a little bit, and I want to get your thoughts on this because we haven't really talked about this. So we've been playing this out on the radio a little bit. Again, my crazy little.
Are there more callers, Lynette?
Well,
We have 2 more.
They can.
Okay.
They can
Yeah,
wait.
let's
They
take
can-
2 minutes
No,
to address
they can
Mike's
wait. Okay.
thing here.
Because and I've talked about this. I said, we live in a state that, and as you talk about, funding for teachers. I talked about my friend who paid into the healthcare system, paid into the system for 50 years. And when it came time for him to get his, they said, sorry, there's no money for you. When people protested NIPCO, they said, hey, state, can you do anything? Can you give us some relief? Can you cut the sales tax off of my NIPCO bill? Do anything to help me? They said, sorry, nothing for you. And then a week later, the Bears come to town. They say, you need $1 billion. We got a check right here, ready to go.
Right.
And
a tax abatement.
And a tax abatement for 30 years, which
Yep.
no other business would get. Nobody else. The state of Indiana, the city of Hammond would not build anybody else their own factory and not build the factory, own the factory, not make them pay sales tax or property tax or any sort for 30. Nobody else would get this deal. But a football franchise, right?
Sure.
The average cost to take your family to a Bears game is like $1,200, which is.
Are you serious? 1,200?
Yes.
Okay.
There's
a
a
family
study.
of how many?
Family of 4.
Wow.
$1,200. This is an actual study.
See, now this is where I'm an idiot and
no, but here's what I'm saying. So
really admitting something.
They're agreeing with you.
So listen,
You're going, yes, you are.
20% of this region lives at or below the poverty line, which means they bring in $1,100 or so a month, which means 20% of the region would have to spend a month's salary just to take their family to a Bears game, which means it's unaffordable for most people.
Yes.
Who would also be saddled with additional taxes like a food and beverage tax, et cetera.
And then what's it going to do in the off season?
Monster trucks? I don't know.
Yeah, well,
but why would anybody?
Are we going to start having national acts come through here?
But here's the question, though.
I do think, too, as a serious point to that, I'm sorry, Chuck, they do have it, in theory, planned. Booked out like 350 days a year.
If you are Taylor Swift, do you say, hey, our options are Wrigley Field or Hammond, Indiana, the monster truck route? I mean, again, because we are on the outskirts of Chicagoland that has all of these arenas that already host the monster truck jam and the Coral Reefers and all these people, why would any of them come to Hammond? So that becomes the question is, will this place sit empty 300 and plus days a year?
Well, that we can't say with any certainty, obviously. Here's what I think, especially that's why I mentioned tax abatement. The current state of funding for Indiana public schools, right? We've talked about that.
Right.
Because of that tax abatement, I would say please no. Stay in Illinois, do what you got to do. Now, I'm not a sports fan by any stretch of the imagination. I've been to Soldier Field to see a concert or two, but that's really been about it. I remember when this happened, 30-some years ago, they were talking about moving
to Munster.
The Munster Monsters is what former Mayor Daley said. Are you going to call them the Munster Monsters? I thought, it's entertaining. It's nice to speculate. Do I think anything's going to happen? No, I think Illinois is going to say, sorry, this is ours.
I don't think Pritzker is going to let the franchise move to a red state because of red state tax policies when he's going to be president.
That's part of it, and that's the periphery here because this was being talked about before Pritzker has said anything. He hasn't declared anyway, has he? He hasn't said he's running.
I mean, it's assumed.
It looks like it. Okay.
Yeah, he's getting fit.
Because, hey, as a person who had to do the same, yes, I understand. But at any rate, elections in 2 years. No. Yeah, 2 years. At any rate, back to it. I am not in support of having a tax-abated entity coming into the town where I live and work. Because I do live here in Hammond and I do work here in Hammond. I don't think that's a good idea.
Thank you.
There you go.
I appreciate that we're on the same page on that. Let's
You're
take a call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
It's a fresh air listening to what I've been listening to this morning. And like Larry the K said, if you you wake up angry and you're mad, just call. Well, they call it the answer. And I listen to all the stations, and I have to laugh because they keep saying about the media being all left wing. Numbers don't lie. It's just the opposite now. If you go up and down and watch these shows, it's just the opposite.
Yep.
And you at least you get. We don't have a democracy if we don't have two points of view. Just because you have another point of view, you don't need to be called a name. You don't need to be vilified, and you don't need to be made fun out of, like I hear more often on the air than not. And it's a shame. You can't even get on some of these other talk shows when they screen you if you have just a little bit of a little bit of a difference.
Oh, geez. You mean we could have been screening this whole time?
Screening, I see. Go ahead, caller. I'm sorry. We're getting off on I see the tangent coming. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. But numbers don't lie because, they say the media is screwed, but the media is bought now, and we're almost marching towards a state media because everything's got to be controlled now. I thought we weren't supposed to be controlled.
Well, if you do listen to Brendan Carr, the FCC, it is getting to seem like that. I could say that is a valid point if you listen to what Brendan Carr is saying. For sure.
And it's not right. It's not right. And it's turning out to be a monopoly. And
very much.
A lot of these people that follow a leader that, like you had mentioned, civics and history class. If you follow a leader whose main person that he followed, his mentor was Roy Cohn. Everybody look up Roy Cohn that don't know who he is. There's a problem there. That person is flawed.
You could look at some of these folks' personal influence, and if you judge people or if you get an idea of people's character by the company they keep, I agree.
Paul Manafort, and you talk about a swamp. There's Paul Manafort. That goes all the way back to the Nixon years.
Mm-hmm.
But people that don't remember what went on last week, all they do is get up and they get their talking points and they'll beat you over the head with it all day.
No, it's a lot of it's distraction. A lot of it is distraction to cover up missteps that were previously made.
We're watching billions of dollars in distraction, so we're not watching these millions of Epstein files that are being redacted.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That you're supposed to get. And why is that? How could two people be in prison for all that went on? It still blows my mind.
Yep, I agree.
Can I digress for a second, though, and ask the question then? Why did the Biden administration not release the Epstein files? Knowing that it could very well have sunk the Trump campaign, why did they not release the files?
Because probably some of them are connected, and that's then, and this is now. The clock's still ticking, and there's a lot of pedophiles that are being protected.
So why? Okay, so here becomes the question: if we're going to have the discussion, and I have this argument with people that work in government, this idea that most government employees are legitimate, just hardworking people trying to serve their country. Why does the cover up continue? Why are there not people doing like the Edward Snowden, sort of leaking this information? Why is that not
Money.
leaking out? Or is it because
Money.
they're being threatened? Or is it? I mean, that's the question. Is if this
yes.
exists,
Probably.
okay, and so that's the question: is why is this not getting out? Why? I mean, I talked about I had Epstein flight logs and the Rolodex on my phone years and years ago because it was out there. We just didn't talk about it. There's a lot of powerful people that I was disappointed to see on that list, but that becomes a question: is like this idea that. Well, Trump's on this list X number of times. Well, so is J.B. Pritzker. So is the Pritzker family.
38,000 times?
I don't know how many times.
Okay.
But did not former President Clinton...
Who over for Thanksgiving dinner?
Well...
Did anyone have them over for Thanksgiving dinner? Or did Lutnick go and visit the island?
We don't
going
have...
to the island with his family? Well, that becomes the question.
Right. Okay.
Why would you bring your family to Epstein's island?
Why? Okay, and I'll go back one further. I mean,
that
imagine a scenario.
Why?
I'm going to go back another step, and I've been asking this. Imagine you're at a party, and some guy walks up to you and says, hey, Congressman, whoever, do you want to go to my private island? Like me, I would say you're probably going to try to steal my kidneys, right? I mean, the average person would go.
I'm sure I would think Jeffrey Epstein didn't open with those lines, Chuck.
Okay.
But then again, I wasn't there. I don't know.
But I'm saying, like, this idea that this guy walks up to you at a party and gets to know you. He said, hey, hop on my jet and let's go to my island. I assume you're going to steal my kidneys, right? So, I mean, that's the thing is, why did
Pretty extreme, dude.
That's just where I go.
Okay.
I just assume anybody that's nice to me is going to steal my kidneys. So,
thanks for giving me free license to be a jerk to you.
My point being, how did so many high-ranking officials, how many these wealthy people, again, even like JB's cousin Tom.
Chuck, this is a class of people we know nothing about, and we are not in it.
But how did these supposedly smart, powerful people get sucked into this so easily?
They're human, Chuck. Human frailty always enters the question, and depending how you answer that question to yourself, you following me so far? That choice, it's all, and here's your personal accountability. Apparently, people weren't being personally accountable.
Right.
Right? Now, what you asked, how come Merrick Garland didn't do anything, the AG under Biden? I don't know. Can we speculate on that? Yes. And does the speculation automatically go to, well, there were some high-ranking Democrats in those? Yes. I'm with you. Did Merrick Garland get cold feet? Did he wimp out? Whatever. Was he advised not to do that for whatever reason of state? I'm sure. I do not doubt that. But when you have, sorry, caller, I hope you're still there. When you have an official who comes out and as part of the promise says, we're releasing that, and then, oh crap, my name's in there. How many times?
Why would he have said that if he knew that he was there? It's like
why would a person adopt the principles of the person sitting next to him, as long as it serves their purpose? Let's ask that
But I'm
question.
asking, why would I double down if I knew I was somewhere? If I knew, I knew that
you know who we're
were
talking about here.
Okay, go ahead.
Why would I double down? Because that's what he does, Chuck. You've answered your question.
Okay.
That's what they do.
Right. So
He's
why
not going to admit
why do we
Can I
elect
ask a
them?
question?
Accountability. Why do we elect them and then say no kings? Why did we elect? Why did you elect any of these people? Why? When are you going to take accountability for your actions and not blame the other guy for that? Go ahead, caller.
If we're spending all the time redacting all the supposed the people that got preyed upon, they're supposed to be making sure that they're not. Well, then there must be a lot of people that were preyed upon because they're doing a lot of redacting. That becomes the question.
So, and my other question is, do we think that it stopped with Epstein? Is there a new Epstein that we're not going to find out about for 5 years?
How could there just be? Absolutely not. We're waiting for we're still waiting for them. When we saw that pile of files that were laying on that table last year that were supposed to be released, we're still waiting.
No, valid point. Okay. Hey, appreciate the call. We do have to. Do you have another call? Why don't we take one more call and then we'll take a break?
Nope, we take a break
good.
right now.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's.
No, you're taking a break now.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
Thank you,
Fine is
ma'am.
fine. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more after this.
Tech Credit Union supports the essential role of union labor in building strong communities. That's why we offer hassle-free banking, financial empowerment, and a commitment to your success. Save for the future, handle life's challenges, and trust a partner that stands by hardworking union members. Tech Credit Union, the better option for you and your money. Visit techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union, supporting union families every step of the way.
Summer's coming, and Deep River Water Park is taking applications for all positions. We have jobs both inside and out for all ages that offer great benefits. Free admission on your day off for you and a friend. Free uniforms, paid training, make new friends, flexible scheduling, and more. To apply, just go to deepriverwaterpark.com and you're on your way to a summer of rewarding fun.
Deep River Water Park. It's simply splash-tastic.
Plumbers Local 210 is building the future, and we're looking for service plumbers to join our team. Our training center invests nearly $500,000 every year to make sure our members are the best in the industry. From a 5-year apprenticeship and an associate degree at Ivy Tech to ongoing certifications in safety and new technology, our plumbers are trained for excellence. Every member is drug tested and licensed for your safety and peace of mind. When you need plumbing work done, make sure you ask for the license. It's your right to ask.
Introducing Powers Health, a health system with a new name and a strong legacy of caring for families in our community. One with a tradition of advanced specialized services and a vision for the future. One with a commitment to medical excellence and compassionate care. Everything we do, everything we believe, powers health.
It is 8:30. Bob has stormed off. He said, I've had enough of
Said
this.
the hell with this. I'm out.
He said, I'm going to go listen to WIND.
Done.
Let's take a quick look at traffic and weather. Traffic has been surprisingly light all morning. Lucky to all of us who commuters. 8094, 65, Skyway, Toll Road, everything moving along fantastically. Bishop Ford to the Dan Ryan, surprisingly light. Dan Ryan on in a little bit slow. Other than that, no real traffic to report in Illinois. Lynette, how about the beautiful weather?
Good morning, everyone. Today we're at 57 degrees with highs of 76 and lows of 64. It's going to be warmer with sun followed by increasing clouds and then breezy later this afternoon. Tomorrow and Tuesday we'll be having highs of 73 and lows of 36. It should be cloudy, windy, and very warm with a couple of heavy thunderstorms in the afternoon. And then Wednesday we'll be having highs of 45 and lows of 40. It should be mostly cloudy, breezy, and cooler with a little rain in the afternoon.
Thank you, Lynette. We finally got rid of the square. Now we can have some real fun.
Square.
Now we can have some real fun.
That guy's like four corners, man. Just, oh boy. Let me tell you. Chuck, heavy lies the crown on the head of recently washed conditioned hair.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like Atlas Shrugged.
It is. It is. It is
right.
like Atlas Shrugged. It is. Poor Ayn Rand.
Why do you say that?
No, I don't know.
Okay, just making sure.
Just to irritate you.
I know.
All right, what's next on the morning zoo?
I don't know. What do we want to? We want to play some toilet noises?
Missing some callers here. No, that's all right. Call in 845. Is it still 845?
It is 845.
845-1100 is the magic number. Lynette, are there any callers?
We got 3.
Oh, let's do
we got
it.
a full
Let's do
boat.
it. Yeah, let's take this last half hour and just do caller and caller. I want to hear caller smack. No, I don't want to hear caller smack them. Go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The question was posed, is there buyer's remorse by Trump voters? And I can say for myself, yes, but the condition is the other option is far worse. I was always of the opinion, if none of the Mrs. Trumps could trust Mr. Trump, how could I? Except Joe Biden, I felt if he would have stayed more moderate and then all of a sudden he gets elected, he went to the far left side, that really was a no-go for me for the direction I saw the country going. I'm a retired teacher. I'm a former union president. And I'm very disappointed, really, where I see the state of our country. And I understand the idea of the no kings rallies and protests. I'm just a big believer. What does the Constitution say? There's your law. Follow it. Now, the issue comes into the gray areas, and some people are just blown way past it. You got to protect the country. And part of that is when many of our family members came in, they had to go through an Angel Island or Ellis Island. Yes, it was much harder to get through Angel Island than Ellis due to racism and everything against Asians. The thing is, I remember watching State of the Union, and it was the last term for Mitt Romney and Joe Manchin. I thought to myself, that's a ticket I could vote for. And guess what? We don't seem anywhere close to that moderate area. I really believe 80% of Americans are close to it, are left of center or just right of center.
So the question I pose, and again, I'm just a simple, smooth brain from the region, why is it so hard for politicians to run on a platform and then follow through with it. Whether it's in Mom Donnie's case, say free everything, and then a month later he goes, oh, turns out we're broke. President Trump to say, hey, no new wars. I'm going to get rid of, what do you say? I'm going to get rid of the IRS and all these things. Hasn't done any. Why is it so hard for a politician to just say, hey, here's my platform. I'm going to run on that platform. I'm going to get elected on that platform. And then I'm going to do my best to follow through. Where is that disconnect? And I asked that of both parties from local all the way up to the White House. Why is that so hard?
I think the answer for you, Chuck, is this. We have such low voter turnout usually in the primaries that the people who really turn out are definitely the party leaders and the far right or the far left, depending on the ticket. And so those are the folks getting elected. I don't know how much you paid attention to it, but Greg Ballard, former Republican mayor of Indianapolis, is running as an independent for Secretary of State.
Mm-hmm.
That is something I can get behind. Not maybe he's going to have to, so he can get enough names on the
well, and that was my
be able to run.
Right. I mean, that's the problem, is that it's a great, if you like the guy, he's got a lot of hurdles as an independent. Well, here in Indiana, as a third party, we have ballot access, but in a lot of states we don't. You have to get thousands of signatures and then they get challenged. And so even if you say, I like this guy and he's not going to run as a Democrat or Republican, they've got a lot of hurdles. We had this even in my own town. Somebody wanted to run independently because he got thrown off the ballot, and he had to gather signatures every weekend just to stay on the ballot. And that's the problem, is when you have the two-party system that has sort of this lock. If anybody even happened here in Indiana when Don Rainwater was doing really well in the last gubernatorial election, they tried to change the rules on the back end. They said, this guy almost got more than 2 or 3%.
And who's the party in charge of changing those rules?
And who did that? Right. And in other states, in Illinois, that is a Democratic supermajority, they do the same thing to my libertarian friends in Illinois.
But I live here, Chuck.
But I'm saying that sit here and go, it's only Republicans. They do the same thing in Illinois. It's even harder for libertarians in a Democratic state. So that's my point, is that you have this independent person that wants to come out and run. They're making it an uphill battle for them to do so.
Well, even take a look back at Ross Perot. They said, what was it, somewhere between 15 to 19% of the people who did not vote for him wanted to vote for him because they thought they were going to throw away their vote. And I think in that first election, if they would have voted for him, it probably would have thrown the election of the president to the House of Representatives, because probably would have had that clear-cut winner of the Electoral College of the 270. I just am concerned where we're at. And now we've had this at different times in our country where, it's doom and gloom. Donald Trump, he's a horrible human being. But our options, Miss Harris, and that would have just been horrible. I'm sorry. And Larry, I appreciate you allowing me to speak my piece and not put me down, because I was afraid, just like Mad Mac, you're going to make me look like a sympathetic figure.
No, it's a very, very rational opinion.
Mad Mag needs a lot of sympathy.
And I appreciate the
needs
call.
A hug.
So, I appreciate the call. Let's go on to another caller. But in the meantime,
thank you, sir.
So one of the things I talk about that and to his point, he talks about this idea that in the primaries, you have to sort of out left or outright your opponent. I have to be the more left. I have to be the more conservative. And then once you win the primary, now you have to make a hard turn back to the center to appeal to the average voter. So it's an interesting thing that happens, is that people are trying to out Democrat and out Republican each other, and then they want to become the centrist after that, so they can win the general.
Well, yeah.
So what are they doing? So they're basically being disingenuous from the beginning, and whoever's the most disingenuous wins the election.
Except for you, if we elect you.
I would never run because you wouldn't vote for me. You wouldn't vote
Chuck,
for
I
me.
would vote for you.
Thank you, even though you don't live in St. John.
We'd find a way.
Thank you. I appreciate that about you. But that becomes the question, is I don't consider, do you consider me a radical on either? I mean, do you consider me a radical?
Let's just start with the first four. Or the first three letters. Do you consider me?
Do you consider me?
No.
But you would vote for me. That's all I care about.
Chuck, I went to grade school, high school with Todd Rokita.
Yeah.
All right. When he was Secretary of State, I voted for him. Partially because I knew the guy, had good feelings for the guy at the time.
Right.
That changes over time, obviously, or it has in this case. Now, he's term limited, is he not?
I don't know.
I don't know
believe
about
so.
AG. But anyway, neither here nor there. Today, the person he has shown himself to be in the last 20 years since he was Secretary of State is somebody that I don't identify with anymore.
Have you ever thought about like trying to reach out to him about that and telling him that?
Did when I was here working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Refused.
Well, right. Well, and that's most politicians these days.
But that was 2012, though, Chuck. That was the Tea Party's protest and so on. I thought, yeah, let's get him on. I talked to his, his lackey, for lack of a better term, and no, the Secretary of State will not be on with you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Thanks.
yeah.
I voted for you.
Well, but right, okay. So that's sort of my point. It's like that's the thing is like, do you think that people? I remember when I was a kid, my grandmother. I was go to her house and she was always writing letters, and I'm like, who? She's writing to my congressman.
Right,
I'm writing to the White House.
Right.
I'm writing to my state rep. I don't think people do that anymore.
No.
Nobody's writing to them.
No.
They're just insulting them on
we can
social
lament
media.
that all we want, for sure. Is there another caller?
There are. Let's take some calls. Good morning, caller on the air.
Hello. Caller.
Hello?
Hello.
Good morning, Charles and Lawrence. Brad Gimble here. How you
Hello,
doing?
Brad. How are you?
Hey, I haven't said this all show. Is this a new show?
Is this a new show? I miss.
I just wanted to
I heard that clip the other
day.
day. That was fantastic.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Brad.
Go
Sorry.
ahead. We're just reminiscing.
Oh, well, I was unable to participate in the No Kings Festival over the weekend, but I did hear earlier in the show, am I correct, Larry, you attended?
Yes, I attended the one in Niles, Michigan.
Awesome. I have to ask, since money is so important to everyone, were there any participants protesting that Trump will be signing all the U.S. currency in 2026? I mean, that's a bold move for a king.
I saw a handful of signs out of all the signs I saw that mentioned that. Handful, two, maybe
a
three.
handful.
Yeah.
Did you know about it?
What, that he was...
Oh, you did know about it. Okay,
yes, I did.
Okay, so here's my here's the thing I have to say. I'm sick of hearing who's better, Republicans.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
Did we lose him?
Call back, Brad.
It's probably
there he is. Okay, there you go.
Okay, go
Brad,
back through
we
that
lost
last
you for
30
a second,
seconds.
Okay,
go ahead.
Good. All right, so
the NSA is on us.
You're cracking up, man. You're too far east of the signal.
Time. Both parties are owned by the banks. Period. And I'm going to prove this right now. So people, if you're an American, you drop your party affiliation until this is all sorted out. Everybody needs to look at the Clarity Act, and you need to pay attention to this because banks.
Hey, Brad, you're breaking up awfully hard, man. We're going to hang up on you, but not in spite. Call back.
Yeah, but what happens is there's an NSA patch that goes through a Starlink satellite. So whenever Brad calls, it has to bounce through Langley and Starlink, and
that's how that works.
Yeah, that's how it works for Brad.
I didn't know that guy had that kind of stroke.
Yeah,
Why
no,
is
he
not
does.
Here?
But so that's why his calls
Morning
are always...
show with Brad Gimble. Who's the next caller? Let's give
We're
Brad
going to
a
give
second.
him a little private booth so he can do it anonymously.
I like it.
Go ahead. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Chuck, I can't believe you haven't brought it up yet. How about April 1st? They're raising the gas tax again.
Yeah. Well, look, the bridges and the roads are going to be fantastic, man. We are going to have the best
these
roads.
Bridges and roads suck
in the country.
Yeah, right. No, this is ridiculous. Our roads are terrible, and this gas tax. Give me a break.
Well, and remember, and this is where we can criticize Republicans on this, is because they've had this philosophy of we have the illusion of low taxes. So what we do is we have a gas tax and we steal a penny here, we steal a penny there. And then what happens is what happened years ago is they said, oh, wait a second, we stole too much and we don't have money for the roads. Now we're going to raise the gas tax. And somebody said, well, hey, can you guys do us a favor and not steal this time from the gas? Like, no, we learned our lesson. And then immediately they started stealing money from the gas tax piggy bank to pay for other things. And then we're continuing to raise gas taxes, and yet we don't have money for the roads. But it becomes this endless cycle of government. It's like we need more taxes to pay for more things, and then we don't have enough.
More.
And And both parties were equally responsible because the same thing's happening in Illinois. But even earlier we were talking about the fact that there was an article that came out, and we finally are saying the word. We're finally saying that the U.S. government is insolvent. The Postal Service is about to run out of money. The Social Security is about to, everything that we're throwing money at is not working and going bankrupt. So at what point do we say, hey, maybe we've thrown more money at the problem, that didn't fix it. What are our other options here, right? I mean, the gas tax is a perfect example of that. We have the 5th highest gas tax is about to be the 4th or the 3rd, and we still have crappy roads. So explain to me how that works and how we accept that, how that's acceptable. Who's accountable for that?
No, it's not. It's not acceptable. It's just they just want more and more and more, and it's just old. Sorry, but so yeah, that's my gripe of the day. Have a good one.
No, thank you. And
safe.
There's rumors that 8094 and I-70 and all these roads are going to become toll roads. I-60.
Yeah, that was said.
And that becomes okay, fine. Toll I-65 and cut the gas tax back. Problem solved. But instead, we build $30 million rest stops in the middle of nowhere.
Well,
we spent $100 million.
You got to rest, Chuck.
You need a giant metal monstrosity in the middle of a cornfield. You can't just go to the bathroom, in a little porta john. Like you can't just go to that little concrete.
On your wooden slat highway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why not?
Did Brad Gimble call back?
He will.
All right.
I think he already did.
Okay, let's take the next call. Good morning, caller.
Hey, Chuck. Hey, Bob.
Hello, sir. Bob. Larry's here.
Larry, but I can be Bob for you.
Been
That's
a long
okay.
time.
Yes. Who is this?
Oh, Bob's gone.
Yeah.
Dave.
Hey, Dave. What's going on, man?
How you doing, brother? Just called to say hello.
Doing just fine.
Is everyone feeling better? Is all the problems have been solved and everyone's blood pressure?
Okay, let me digress.
Mine is controlled with medication.
You know what? I always make it a point. I haven't, Dave, I haven't said this to you yet. Thank you for running. I always say he's running for office.
Yes, good.
And I know you've been going. I see your face on a couple of these posters. You're going to events. So again, as somebody who's going to these events and meeting people out in the public, what kind of feedback are you getting?
Well, I did this. I started down this path again. Well, it's probably temporary insanity on my part, but I really, especially on a county level. Everyone says, well, my vote doesn't count. Yes, it does. It counts very much. And it's just one of these opportunities. It was an open seat. And because Charlie Brown had served for 22 years and he decided to finally, at 88 years old, to try to start taking care of himself. So it is an open seat. And I thought it would be a good opportunity for me since I did run once before. And at 62, obviously, I'm not one of those perpetual candidates, and I got in this game way late in life compared to most people because I work for a living. And I work 10 hours a day, which is hard. And I applaud anyone who runs for office because, let me tell you, you're putting it all out there, especially working people that actually have real 9-to-5 jobs that don't make their own schedules and do all that. It's a challenge, but I knew what I signed up for. And to cut to the chase, I just want to try to make a difference on a small part. And on a county level, I think it would make the greatest impact and to put my money where my mouth is. I do it with Haven House, and I do it with Caring Place, and not Caring Place, but Crisis Center through the MCC and all the other boards and organizations. So why not try it on a bigger level? Yes, I knew it was going to be a heavy lift. Especially where I live, and I've only been there 9 years, and but everyone has a right to run, and I just one of those weak moments that I thought I can make a difference. Well, I'm just absolutely, it's crazy because I just saw 2 different cars drive right through a hard red light right in front of me. So I'm glad I didn't pursue forward on a green. So crazy. But that's, I digress, I guess.
No, that's all right,
Crazy.
Dave. You see, I think political affiliations aside, let's be serious here. If there were more, or if there were perceivably were more people like you who work the regular job, who work hard, who do what they got to do to get by without doing it on the backs of others, we'd probably be better off. Unfortunately, and as we've known for decades now, the ruling class, the wealthy class, the elite class are the ones that generally have that power. The days of Mr. Smith going to Washington are long over.
Oh, absolutely.
Long over.
Absolutely.
But here we are again with Mr. Smith, right? So it's nice to see that people are still trying. I applaud you. I do wish that I lived in your area of the county so I could vote for you. That would be nice, unless you got Hessville in there.
It's one of the most diverse districts as well.
Oh, I
So
agree.
It's Gary. It's Broadway East, all of Lake Station, Hobart, and New Chicago. And I've met a lot of great people. And one of the here, I'm going to leave part you with this. And Chuck, thanks for the time. Is on one of my stump speeches, I said it'd be a huge honor for me to be hired and to work for you, and I would not give you a litmus test if you had an R&D in front of your name. It would be my job to help you no matter what.
Right.
And lo and behold, I got some text messages from people from both sides saying, you need to make up your mind.
Well,
you
of
have
course,
to be a solid
because-
this or a solid that. And,
Right, right.
And I said, I want no part of that.
Tribalism,
I absolutely want no part of the rich and poor, black and white, R&D. I want no part of that. That's not public service to me.
Right.
That's kowtowing to the
That's
the
not what
establishment.
matters at the local. It doesn't matter, but that's
Especially at the
that's
local
what
level.
does not matter at the local level for sure.
But that was my, we were talking about John Fetterman earlier, which is a perfect example of somebody who was a darling on his side, and then he came out and kind of said, "Hey, I'm gonna vote based on sort of my opinion and conscience."
Sure, as you should.
And now he's being ostracized, and people are saying we should impeach him, and he's to be primaried.
There's one guy in he's unfortunately he was a moderate Republican, and this guy checked all the boxes. Young, handsome, veteran, and that was Matt Kinzinger. That poor guy hit the Republican cancel culture fast as anyone I've ever seen because he dared to speak his mind and not fall in lockstep with everyone else. And there's just as many on the Democratic side. But you listen to Matt Kinzinger for any length of time, you're like, you can't tell if he's a Republican or Democrat. As long if he says it, and he got canceled out. Him and Liz got canceled out for a multitude of reasons.
You don't win a primary that way. That's the problem. That's what we just talked about. You're not going to win a primary that way.
Oh, well, you know what? I do.
Well,
because I'm going to win no matter what because I'm not jeopardizing everything I've worked for.
Your integrity,
in
sir.
my
Your
life,
integrity.
my character. I'm not going to sacrifice my character. And you're right, Chuck. I might not win a primary, right? But at least May 5th because I'm still going to go to work on May 6th. May 5th, when I go to bed at 9:30 like I always do, I'm going to sleep like a baby because I didn't know I didn't sacrifice my character and everything I've worked for the last 62 years. I just refuse to do it. And it's not up to me at that point. It's up to the people. So
Yep.
That's how I feel about it.
Appreciate the
might
call.
be rose-colored glasses and and unicorns and rainbows, but to me, character still means something.
Well, we appreciate the call, and again,
Agreed.
thank you for running. I got to get a few more callers in before we go. So, hey, thanks for the call. Best
you,
of luck
David.
with everything. Again, it's an interesting thing when you go out and sort of you have to face people, and you get those tough questions. It's one thing to go on social media and go, "Hey, look at me knocking on doors," but then when you actually go out to the world and meet people, especially the ones that don't disagree with you.
That's why I was applauding Bob for door to door
You have to
and
do it.
taking his son
That's-
with him.
That's what wins elections.
Well, that's instilling a good sense of civic duty in your child.
And hopefully nobody yells at him in front of
Right.
his son. So let's
And I
take
said duty on air.
Duty. Let's take some calls. So good morning, caller on here.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello.
Hello, Brad. Thank
I
you.
was explaining to Larry about all the NSA patches that go through Langley and why it takes so long for you to call us.
Right, exactly. As soon as I call, isn't that interesting? But no, here's the thing. You guys, all things aside here, I don't want to argue because we've got a little bit of time, but both parties are terrible. Congress is the problem. Look, your local bank and your local credit union and anywhere that you're a lending institution here in the region that helped build this, that gave money to your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles, they are about to get gutted. They are about to be out of business overnight. And if you don't pay attention, don't yell and scream at your congressman. The banks that own them, and I'm not talking your small bank here, okay? Your small credit union, your small local bank, your small lender, they are for you. They don't care about your political party. They want to be able to lend you money to build the region. Your Congress is about to give all the power in money, because the dollar is going to be completely changing. I don't care what Griffith has to say. It's going to completely change, and they're going to have everyone using stable coins. And the reason why is because they're going to offer way more rewards and a way higher interest rate on your money. And the big banks are fighting against you to get that interest. There is no way that small banks and small credit unions and stuff, they are bigger local banks. They can all pivot through this and keep their customers and keep the money here in the region. And if you let Congress, and I want all of you out there listening that are involved with Congress, and you know who you are, if you falter on this one, you will never, ever I will never let up on you. I will never let up on you. This is for the people. I don't care who's protesting what. All of you need to shut your face and pay attention, because the money that you're going to inherit or the money that you have in your bank account is all at risk. You want that interest? They're about to take all of that 0.1%. And if this bill isn't corrected, it's over. It's over, people. Please pay attention to this. I'm sorry. The public service announcement is probably going to happen any day now.
Don't apologize.
Any
You
day
make
now.
sense.
So get out there and... Okay, yeah, and I'm scared for everybody. Yeah, I'm not scared for just who I believe is supposed to be in power, because I'm not a red or blue. I see the writings on the wall. They're owned. And this is where we have to take a stand. We have to put down the signs, just stop it. Otherwise, we're toast. I mean, why would I keep my money somewhere that I can't get 4 to 5% interest and then go to a decentralized protocol that doesn't even have one person working for them, not any physical locations, not anything, and they're probably going to give me 8 to 10% as they move this out? This is a very frightening situation, people, and if you don't understand it, go look at what the Genius Act did in 2025 and the Clarity Act is about to do, and quit protesting. Protest this. If you want to protest something, you want to prove everybody's in on the take, this is it. This is it, and this is the one they don't want you to know about. Please. I don't know what else to say. I was trying to be funny and make a good point.
No, you're making good points,
Brad.
Brad, I was going to say, if you can work in...
I can't let this one go.
If you can work in a couple jokes into this routine, you basically are George Carlin.
Maybe
Just
some
saying.
about a vampire.
Throw in a few jokes, and you can do 5 minutes at an open mic night and get a standing ovation.
Well, you mentioned that, and Brad, agree or disagree. Are we not seeing what George Carlin was talking about?
I mean, it is. I have young people every
it's
time.
them and not us, and we're not invited to that party.
When I argue with younger people, I say, "Here's a clip. Go watch this Carlin clip." He's like, when people want to argue, I'm like, "Just watch the Carlin clip. I don't have time."
Right.
Because it's all there.
Exactly.
Anything else, Brad?
Exactly. Oh, and Chuck, you're definitely not a revolutionary. I would say you're a make sense kind of guy of the world. And thanks for putting on the Medium every Monday, because they always give you entertainment on Friday to talk about over the weekend. And you got the best show right here on Monday, brother.
Here.
You just wait.
Here.
Things are going to really heat up in about 2 weeks.
That's why we're here.
Real interesting. Okay, I'll
that's
tell you guys
why
get another call.
Hey.
Have another call in there.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy. Be
okay,
safe.
let's see. We got anybody else?
Any stragglers?
We're clear.
No one
Okay,
else?
well,
All
now
right,
we
got
can
2.5 minutes, Chuck.
Well, I want to leave a little early. But
Let's pray.
Okay, well, remind people who are tuning in tonight, who is this guy that's been ranting?
This is... Oh, wait.
Explain who you are.
Oh, my name's Larry, a.k.a. Larry the K. I worked here for all of 3 years of its 103 years. 3 of those years I was here. That's who I am, Chuck.
So you were part of the experiment. Here
yes, I was a part of the experiment. I still continue to support the experiment that goes on here, as goofy as it may seem from time to time. But then again, that's my perception. It's as I said last time you had me on. Thank you so much for inviting me. I enjoy doing this. And if people are a little too butthurt out there, well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not on all the time.
I mean,
save it for the next.
Other than tell my callers to shut up, I think you did a great job.
Well,
I mean,
come on.
But
got to throw a little Anastopoulos preacher in there. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Well, and so it's a nice thing. So also thank you to that for those of you that I was listening to.
But I love you all.
There was a clip the other day where Gloria called in the preacher, and I was like, "Oh man,
is this a new show?"
Yeah. So I mean,
I miss her.
I miss her. I miss all of those guys.
One of the most fun. Is funnest the word? One of the funnest things is I was going through a lot of that material, the raw material and the edited.
Yeah.
Was just the people that you knew either through the callers that are now long gone, and it's going to happen to the current ones too. But you're going to hear that, and it's like, oh wow, there's Joe from Highland, there's Steve from EC,
yeah,
there's this guy, and so on. Names people that you heard on here on the regular. And the regular callers too that are still alive and keeping that tradition going, right? It's just it's a nice walk down memory lane, and I I'm glad to have been a part of it.
Well, we appreciate
for sure,
that.
and to help out.
Well, with that,
how about you? Are you glad to be here, Chuck?
I'm glad to be here.
We got one more minute, Chuck.
I will be even happier next Monday.
Yes, right. Dingus Day, Big Frank's.
Dingus Day at Big Frank's.
I'm going to have
ready
to show up.
Just behave yourself. You can come.
I'm getting threatened with sausages, man. I mean, come on. Don't threaten me with a good time.
It's a real sausage party over at Big Frank's for Dingus Day.
And it will be. It will be. Now, I got to ask you, do you think the mystery callers, the ones that never reveal their faces at these things, Walt, you going to show up? Going to show up, Walt? Get some Polish sausage?
I promise I won't out him if he does.
Oh, no, I won't out you.
I know who he is.
I
know.
you.
We've talked.
First, middle, and last name, baby. We know. We know.
But yeah, come on by, have some fun. So we want to put some faces to the names.
Pierogi for breakfast. Scrambled egg pierogi.
Why not?
What do you think?
I'll throw it out. See if we can make those.
Biscuits and gravy over pierogi.
We're gonna. I mean, all we can do is try. Can we pull it off? I don't know. With Lynette's help, producer.
If you tug hard enough, you probably will.
With that, we're going to go. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for joining us, Larry. We'll be back next Monday. Be sure to tune in all week. We've got a whole cavalcade of
stars,
all kinds of stars and opinions, local region celebrities telling you their opinion. Can't wait to see you guys next Monday at Dingus Day at Big Frank's.
Woo-wee.